It's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Hey y'all, welcome. It's your boy Chris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show we basically talk about all things going on in celebrity news, gossip, hot topics, whatever is trending in these good old streets. We chat about it on this show. So before we get started, can you do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button? Also be sure to smash the notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And before we get into the tea, we got some topics that we're going to get into. We got some great news regarding Scary Movie franchise. Plus, we're going to talk about 50 Cent revealing that he turned down some coins to perform at this Sunday's, racist rally at Madison Square Garden. Plus, we're going to talk about more Puerto Ricans are coming out and speaking out against Donald Trump, including Marc Anthony. So we're going to speak about that. Plus, child, speaking of racism, they had a fool over there at CNN that tried basically threatened wish death upon Mehdi Hasan. And he's been banned from CNN, but I got the clip. We got to talk about it. I gagged when I watched that. I was like, oh, look, the racism not even trying to hide it no more. So there's that. Plus, child, we talked a little bit about it yesterday about Diddy R-wording allegedly the 10-year-old aspiring artist. Well, I got the full story. So we're going to talk about that courtesy of Rolling Stone. So we're going to get into that story. Plus, his ex, Jennifer Lopez, was funny. I spoke about two of her exes up in here, Marc Anthony and the Diddler. But Jennifer apparently is in the studio recording music. So, according to the Daily Mail, they said she out here doing the follow-up, might be doing a follow-up to This Is Me Now. Well, we need to wash that thing out of our memories, and I'm sure she's trying to do the same. So let's talk about that. Plus, we got some good news regarding my girl, Madonna. Now, speaking of not so good news, Mel B out here mad because the Spice Girls, to be exact, don't want to do a 30th anniversary reunion. She basically called them a bunch of dickheads. I cackled when I read that, but that seemed to be her favorite word because she called James Corden one a couple of years ago. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we talked a little bit yesterday about Liam Payne and the Building the Band show. Well, apparently they were saying that he was forced into doing the show straight out of rehab by his management. So they're basically out here saying that they've been pushing him out here to be some, just hurting the sheep, doing all the work and all this stuff when he wasn't mentally ready to be going back out there doing stuff. You should have given him the time to recover from, his struggles with addiction. So we're going to get into that story. Plus, child, now y'all be out here saying leave Shawn Mendes alone, but how the hell we gonna leave him alone when he keep coming out here talking about his sexuality every 5 damn minutes? I'm tired of talking about Miss Mendes, but apparently she in the news and she said that she's still figuring out her sexuality. So we gonna get into it. Plus, child, I don't know if y'all seen Darren Criss on the red carpet channeling Billy Porter. But apparently he was, and the internet is divided over his look that was put together by my one of my favorite designers, one of many, Christian Siriano. But so we're gonna get into that story. Plus, child, they out here talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar is a trans woman. So now the people done lost their mind because one thing you will not do is go after my girl Sarah Michelle Gellar and her husband Freddie Prinze Jr. Those two are off limits. I will fight anybody that comes to my girl Buffy. So apparently she being transvestigated. I didn't even know that was a damn word. Transvestigated by bigots because they said she has a larynx. Now, this is why I said we are a hopeless nation because y'all taking books out of schools. You're taking anatomy out of schools. People don't know. Men don't know nothing about women's anatomy, periods, larynx. Like, you do know we all have we have a throat, larynx. Like, things protrude. And when she's skinny, you're going to see a little something. I can't. I just say this. I'm glad I grew up in the time that I did because we just got a bunch of idiots running around in this damn world and Trump propping them up. And then, not that. No, I don't. Why am I hitting that? I'm just like finger happy today. And there's a Drag Race UK star who is defending her recent, since we're talking about clothes and outfits and things. She wore a Halloween costume that resembled a look Demi Moore had in the movie The Substance, and people are mad about it. And I'm like, y'all are so damn annoying to me. So we have that and a whole lot more. Whatever pops up in the timeline. There's not really a lot going on today, but those are the stories that I could scrape up in a short amount of time. I was chewing chocolate while the intro was going on. And luckily, thank the Lord, I got this ring light to work. My ring light was not working for the life of me. That's why I was late, because I was supposed to come on at 4:35. I was like 10 minutes late. I told you I'm on CPT. For those who don't know what that means colored people time. I was late, and I was trying to put all this thing on. I literally 5 minutes before, like around 4:30, I went on Amazon, and I know everybody's all upset about Jeff Bezos, whatever. But look, I'm not giving up Amazon. Y'all could go argue with your mammy. First of all, I'm not paying all these little things or whatever the case is, and I get good deals with Amazon. So if y'all want to be mad and nitpick and do all this, well, you're not really you're not really for this because you still order from Amazon. Sit and spend. How about that? So I'm gonna still use my Amazon. But anyway, so I had to order a ring light real quick. Like, one is for the laptop, and that's good for YouTube and things, because I'm tired of like the fact that I'll buy a ring light, and I guess sometimes I'll be realizing, yeah, when you use something a lot, eventually there's gonna be some wear and tear. It's not gonna work anymore. So you have to get a new thing. So I ordered a new ring light. It's gonna come on November 1st. So in the meantime, I just hope and pray that this ring light that I'm still using, because I got like 3 of them, and there's always some drama. Every time I get a ring light, it's some drama. Why? Because like I said, the wear and tear. So anyway, before we get to the thing, let me see what's going on. Okay, you said MJ's Thriller was named the 25th. Child, get off my line. But wait a minute, what's the other song? Where is it? Wait, what list you talking about? Because I want to see this list. Like, let me know where this thing is, because I'm like, I want to look at this list. You actually gave me an idea, because tomorrow, well, Halloween I'm working, and I know tomorrow's the Cyndi Lauper show, but I'm gonna do a Halloween Eve show. I did buy a costume and everything, because I go hard for this show. I'm giving y'all production. I'm gonna give y'all costumes and things of that nature. And if y'all want to dress up and stuff, be my guest. Like, send pictures, do all the other stuff. Y'all know my social medias is down in the description. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so I'm thinking maybe I could use this thing, the biggest Halloween song on the top 100. If they have a full list of that, somebody send me the link, and I'll make that as a segment or something for our special Halloween episode. Because the Halloween episode, I'm gonna do my Stephen King thing that I was supposed to do a couple of weeks ago when the Salem's Lot came out. I was going to do it then, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just say that for Halloween. And then Variety has a thing that I've had literally in like bookmark for like 2 weeks. The 100 best horror movies of all time. I know I was like trying to think what number should we start at? Should we do like top 20 or whatever? I know when Robert was on here, he said top 30. So I think I'm gonna just do top 30, and then we'll just go down on that. So I think there'll be 3 topics, so that way we can keep it going. So we'll do the 100 thing, top 30 of the 100 horror movies of all time, and y'all can give y'all opinions on that. Then we'll do my list of Stephen King, my favorite Stephen King movies and TV shows or whatever. And then if there is this thing where they have 25 biggest Halloween songs, then I'm gonna use that as part of it too. But I'm trying to think, are there a lot of Halloween songs that exist? Like, I don't even know if there are. Like, we're aware of Thriller. We know that who else does like Halloween music? Kim Petras. I can't really think of nobody else. Oh wait, they have the Monster Mash. They have like songs like that. So yeah, I guess that they do have something like that. So I'll probably have to look that up. But if y'all have the link, y'all know, just send it to me so I don't have to do all this damn research. Sometimes it'll be a lot of work. But yes, Sailor Mermaid, we live, and I see you here. And queer. We ain't going nowhere. Oh yeah, you said, yeah, I saw that. I did hear something or another that he fainted and then fell. So I heard that. And then I also heard, because there was something that came out about Liam, that that there was a producer, can't remember the name of the producer, don't care, never heard of them, and I'm not even giving them a shine, name, energy, none of that. Y'all can look it up if you care, but I'm not giving him no energy or whatever. But he said that there was a producer that was going to release a song that he did with Liam Payne. I think it was going to come out this week, but because of the immense backlash, he's putting it on hold without asking the family's permission. So that's going to be coming. So I'm glad that they didn't put that out. And then we'll get into the thing later on with Liam Payne when we talk about building the band, which Netflix and the people behind that said that they are speaking to his family to determine whether or not they want this to come out. But they say he was in no condition to even be doing that show. But we'll get into that. Oh, you said you can try to do 100 if you speed past. But, well, I mean, I could do that. But then again, I know me. I'll be going through the list. I'm like, why the hell is this at 95? Like, I know how I get. I'm going to start bitching over the placement of certain movies. So that I don't trust myself to do a speed buy. But we could try it. I'll get. You know what? I'm not going to sit up here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should learn to trust myself. We'll do the full 100, and I'll just go through it, and I'm like, Chris, bite your tongue. Even though it's going to be a lot of blood drawing, I'll make sure not to wear white tomorrow. So it is like, you know, there's going to be a lot of blood being drawn for me bite my tongue so damn hard not to give my opinion on the placement of saying, I'm like, wait a minute. Now, this movie should not be at no damn 94. This movie should not be at 90. This movie should not be at 75. This shouldn't even be at 50. But everything can be in the top 10. So somebody's got to be placed. A movie's got to be placed somewhere. So, you know what? Maybe I'll just do the whole speed by whatever, because it is going to be, like I said, a special Halloween episode. It's not like I'm going to be doing celebrity news and gossip unless I end up doing 2 shows tomorrow, and I'll do a celebrity news and gossip later on at night, and then I do a Halloween episode. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of work doing a double, working a double shift. But when you love what you do, it don't feel like it, right? Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this great news, because I don't remember who it was. It might have been Onyx. I think it might have been you that brought this up. But look like they must have heard us, and you especially, because we got the Wayans brothers back for the new Scary Movie reboot. Because when we were talking about, well, you said you found a list of 40 Halloween songs. Well, send me that. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Let me start reading the comments. So we were talking about on a show not too long ago, because I remember I was talking about Scary Movie and all this other stuff, and I think what they were talking about was, I don't remember what the conversation was, but I was like, if they do bring back Scary Movie, I want my girl Brenda back, and of course you got to bring back Miss Cindy, who used to be with Chris Pratt back in the day, Anna Faris. So you got to bring back Anna Faris, and you have to bring back, oh my God, why I always forget her damn name, but I always call her Brenda. The name Tiffany is in my head. I don't know why I'm thinking of Tiffany Haddish. I can't stand that broad, but y'all know who I mean when we talk about Cindy and Brenda. Y'all need to bring them back, see where they're at in today's climate, especially since they bringing back Sidney Prescott for the Scream 7. So if y'all going to reboot this Scary Movie, I do think that y'all should make fun of, would they be able to get away with that though? They need to make fun of Spyglass and the whole thing of what they did with Melissa Barrera. They need to do that. And make fun of like requels and reboots and just make it very metal. And then you can make fun of the Babadook. You can make fun of what is it, Hereditary, which I'm still traumatized by that damn movie. Midsommar, The Witch. Y'all can make fun of all those scary movies and stuff of kind of like the current era of horror and the requel situation, but just make it real funny. So Marlon Wayans took to social media this morning to announce that he and his people will be back to breathe some life into the Scary Movie franchise, because quite frankly, I only stuck with it until, well, I did watch a bit of part 3, but I hated all the other ones post them leaving or being kicked off their own IP. So I only liked Scary Movie 1 and 2. Those are the only ones I acknowledge. So yeah, he went on Instagram with this pose, which, boy, you are so stupid. So basically, they said that Miramax and Paramount are resurrecting the Scary Movie franchise with a brand new reboot movie, and they brought back the spoof franchise originators, the Wayans brothers. Give me a high five. Remember that theme song for the Wayans brothers? They used to come on the, what was it? Well, at the time it was the WB. So according to Deadline, they said the Scary Movie reboot that was announced at CinemaCon has finally come together, with the franchise architects reuniting for the first time in 18 years with a new original screenplay. The earlier series a send up of slashers like Screaming I Know What You Did Last Summer. The new Scary Movie will shoot next year for a theatrical release. The Wayans and Rick Alvarez are writing and producing the movie. The Scary Movie film franchise was developed by Marlon Wayans, Shawn Mendes, and Keenen Ivory Wayans. Keenen Ivory Wayans wrote and directed the first two films. Marlon Wayans and Shawn Mendes wrote and starred in the first two films. So I basically what they're saying is that Keenen, Shawn, and Marlon wrote it. They co-wrote it all together, and then Keenen directed it. But I do wonder that is Keenen going to come back and direct it? Because they basically said the Wayans and Rick Alvarez are writing and producing it. So I do wonder if they're going to get Keenen to come out of, because Keenen ain't directed a movie in a month of Sundays. Like, Keenen ain't direct. I feel like, well, I could be wrong, but I feel like Keenen ain't direct something since the 90s. And I liked a lot of Keenen stuff. I liked when he directed, I love The Low Down Dirty Shame. That is one of my favorite movies. I still cackle over that film. Especially, Jada Pinkett, she gave me my life in that damn movie. I still cackle over Peaches being a hot ass mess, her sassy self. But anyway. So they said Miramax boss Jonathan Glickman exclaimed, they said, "We are thrilled to reunite Scary Movie with the Wayans brothers, the brilliant creators behind the beloved franchise. The timing is perfect to bring back the series to the big screen, and we're lucky to have Keenen, Marlon, and Shawn's unique comedic vision bringing it to audiences around the world." Now, Marlon, Shawn, and Keenen Wayans told Deadline, they said, "We could be more excited to be part of the new Scary Movie and work with each other again. This is a franchise we created more than 20 years ago. We remember people laughing in the aisles and hope to see that happen again. We look forward to working with Jonathan Glickman and his team at the new Miramax to bring these laughs to theaters where they belong. It's a double reunion." So I have to say that I am hyped over this, because here's the thing, the Scary Movie movies, I'm gonna stick with that. During the early aughts, they grossed north of $896 million worldwide through 5 films. So the first Scary Movie came out in 2000. It was one of the highest grossing R-rated horror movies of all time back in the day. The film opened at $42.5 million, which was the biggest opening for an R-rated horror movie and a Black director at that time. And also, look, horror movies is making history over here. We just had Terrifier 3 be the first unrated horror film, highest grossing unrated horror film of all time. Robert told me that yesterday, but I saw that post on Bloody Disgusting, because they're producers of Bloody Disgusting, Screambox. They're all producers of the Terrifier franchise. So horror movies are definitely at a resurgence. I wouldn't even call it a resurgence. They've been doing well for the past couple of, I guess, because of the current climate that we in. This is why horror movies is thriving, because I feel like we're in the middle of one, especially with this political, circus that we're in the midst of. So horror movie is definitely just that comfort food that we all need to keep us tucked in at night. So yeah, but I only like I said, I only like the first 2 Scary Movies. So I'm glad that they're coming back now. The thing is, it's been almost 20 years since the original Scary Movie. I'm a little worried. And it's only because it's like, yeah, a lot, some people feel, and there's no shade, some people feel that Marlon's kind of fallen off, and Marlon and Shawn, that the comedy isn't as sharp as it used to be. And he's been in a couple of not so great movies. Because it said also in the article that Alvarez wrote such Marlon Wayans movies as 50 Shades of Black, Sextuplets, and Naked. So I don't think those movies were well received. So, oh my God, what is the day? You know what? If it falls into if a Scary Movie kind of takes more of that approach, even though Scary Movie is before the film, if they kind of go in a direction of like, just to remember, like, be funny or whatever the case is, like, take a risk, don't even worry about, them and all, like, just go off the rails with the comedy. I need, I love it. Like I said, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I love an offensive joke. So if y'all can kind of bring that unfilteredness of like, just really go there with the comedy, And if they could take more of an approach, damn, what was the name of that movie that just came out where it was a black comedy, and they went to like a cabin in the woods and they played this little racist game or whatever the case was, and it was a killer trying to kill them. Like if they kind of go into that approach of like bringing that kind of rejudging that type of comedy back, I'd be here for it. But yeah, one of my fears is that Marlon Wayans, he's kind of been reduced to doing straight to Netflix movies. And I know this is going to go in the theater, but for the most part, when it comes to the Netflix films, Quiet as it's kept, a lot of Netflix films are trash. But no, I know I'm looking in the comments, Felix is saying bodies, bodies, bodies. No, but it was an all black cast. We had my girl from Empire was in it. And then they had like, and then it was a guy I guess was going around shooting people with a bow and arrow. They was confined in a cabin, and they was playing like this racist video game that was down in the basement. I don't know why I can I remember this movie and the name of the movie. And Miss Girl from Insecure was in it. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm literally drawing a blank right now on what's the name of that damn movie. So, my thing is that I just hope that the films that they really go there and they're funny, and that if it's not, that y'all test it with people like, I think you can push it a little better with that. Wait, let me look it up. I think it came out in 2023. No, it wasn't called. Oh, The Blackening. I knew it had something because I was thinking about something with black. It was The Blackening. That was the name of the movie. So I was like, let me look it up because I knew I would just like come out. First of all, that movie was funny as hell with Grace Byers and Jermaine Fowler. That movie had me rolling on the damn floor. So I'm actually looking forward to that movie getting a sequel. So excuse me. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are you guys excited that Scary Movie is coming back? And if now that Scary Movie is coming back, we already know like there's an arsenal of films that they can make fun of and incorporate that in it. Like I just love like how they brought in The Matrix and they did all the stuff at that time. And there's been so many movies that have come out in the past decade, and the way horror has kind of progressed within the last decade that they could poke fun at. I just hope that y'all can be real clever with these jokes and don't they ain't no half step, and don't be lazy with the jokes either. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. He said, yes, Regina Hall. That's why I said, I don't know how I can never remember the name. I can never remember her name. I just be calling her Brenda Krampus. Funny enough, I've never seen Krampus. I've been seeing it all the time on if I'm on the streaming channels and I see it up there, and I'm like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. But I have a feeling, watch, around December, I'm gonna end up watching that damn movie. That's what I'm gonna watch, Krampus, some damn Christmas time. So I would love if Melissa, who got fired from Scream, does that Scary Movie reboot. I mean, that would actually be, you know what? That's actually a genius move. It's like, oh, y'all basically kicked me out of this other thing. So now I'm gonna go, Miramax no longer owns the property of Scream, right? So this is why I need Robert in here, because I know he be knowing all of this. So, oh my God, what did I do? I think I made my thing a little too big, and I don't know how to change it. So it is what it is. What did I do? I think I was like, I'm not going out of this. Hold on, let me refresh. Oh boy. I messed up. I don't know what I did. I think I accidentally expanded this and made it too damn big, and now I don't remember how to stop it. But I'll figure it out sometime in the show. But anyway, so you said, what did you say? Oh, you said I would love Melissa. Yeah, ready. That one said that yeah, they could do Get Out, A Quiet Place, Megan, and I could definitely see them doing Megan and just like doing a whole riff on. Oh, and plus you could make fun of all the dumb Blumhouse movies that came out. Because remember after Megan, they tried to capitalize and they were releasing 50 damn different doll versions of that. Oh, so we have Imaginary, and then you had, the AI killing people, and I was like, okay, now y'all all trying to just come out with 50 different versions of Megan, and because of the success of that, you're trying to capitalize, which was annoying. And you said Marlon's Netflix movies haven't been very quiet as it's kept. But yeah, they haven't been for a while, which is unfortunate. It's like while I'm talking to y'all, I'm sitting here still trying to figure this damn thing out. But I'll figure it out later. Okay, so you said bodies. Oh, I think that's because you was trying to tell me what you think the thing was, and it was just something else. But no, it wasn't bodies. It was the blackening, which, like I said before, I actually liked. I don't know why this is annoying me, but it is. Because I can't now I'm freaking out because I can't even remember like how to get to I think they are doing this. I think they are doing a sequel to The Blackening, from what I heard. I know I'm live. Why is this thing telling me you are live? It's like, bitch, I know I'm live. Thank you. Because I'm trying to get to now I see it, because I'm like I couldn't even see where my banner and stuff was, so I'm gonna have to just keep it minimal, because I'm like, today for some godforsaken reason I cannot figure out how to like do the minimizing of the situation. So now I had to figure out something, because I'm like I can't even switch over to my banner because I can't see it, but I got it now. We back in business, sort of. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about 50 Cent, who is revealing some tea regarding how he said he turned down $3 million. And I'm sitting there wondering, because a lot of people was asking me when I was doing the garden of, my coworkers and stuff. They were like, well, how is he paying for, all of this in regards of how you offer these people money, how you got the wherewithal to be paying people to be all of, I said, I have no idea. It's probably donors or whatever the case is. Because from what I heard, Trump didn't even pay for renting out the arena over at where was he? Nassau Coliseum. Because remember, this is not the first event that he's done in New York. He did Nassau Coliseum, which is like, we already know the type of people you was going to get over there. You was going to bring in you were going to bring in like people from Long Island, Staten Island stuff. And then we come to find out that Vinny Guadagnino was at the MSG rally, from Jersey Shore, and got dragged on social media because Robert sent me the post on it. Let me pull it up, because I hope I still have it. I might have accidentally. Oh no, wait. I thought I still had it, but apparently I don't. I deleted it. But yeah, they went in and they cussed him out over, his support for, people to my, he a POS, and he's my, wow, like he's surprised by the stuff that they said about it. I'm like, well, what was you expecting? Like, if you're gonna sit up in here and support a bigot, and here's the thing, my thing with anybody, you can support whoever the hell it is you want to support. I feel like some people intentionally just want to be upset, and they feel like, if I say that I support Donald Trump, then oh, I know I'm going to get pushed back. I know I'm going to get cursed out. I know, which is basically what 50 Cent said. And now that's one of his reasons why he said he didn't decide to do it. But it's like, you can support whoever the hell you want to support. The thing is that the reasoning behind why you are supporting this person, to me, is ridiculous. It's like, it doesn't make it make sense as to what it is about this person. Like, what are the policies that he has that would make you go, oh yeah, I definitely am gonna rock with him off of whatever. Like, this man has done nothing, even in his own career before he got into politics, that would subsequently make you think that he know how to balance the budget, let alone his own goddamn checkbook. But I digress. So 50 Cent says he turned down former President Donald Trump, and this, sidebar, this is another thing that pissed me off, because on our the paper that we get for the day of with knowing like what's going to be going on, what sections, so that we know like when it comes to any floor that I'm working, I know what the hell's going on. I know where to direct people. If they ask me any kind of information, I know what to tell them. So when it came down to it, they continue to call him, they refer to him as President Donald Trump. They even had it on the stuff in the place. He's not the president. This is someone who has pretty much denied that Joe Biden won the election fair and square, because it's up to the people to decide who they want to win. But y'all want to be out here stealing elections, burning ballot boxes, and things of that nature. So that was the irritation. But I love in the article they're saying former president, which he is, just like Barack Obama is former president Barack Obama. Bill Clinton is former president Bill Clinton, and whoever wins, hopefully Kamala, wins, it'll be former president Joe Biden. You are not going to be the president because you are not the president. So if y'all can't be, it's the delusion for me. So they basically said that he turned down Trump's $3 million offer to perform at his New York Madison Square Garden rally. The rapper revealed this morning when he appeared on The Breakfast Club. He said, I got a call, but they wanted me for Sunday, the Candy Shop rapper said when asked by DJ Envy if there was any truth to online rumors that he received calls from Donald Trump's team about a paid endorsement. He said they offered me $3 million to do it. This is what 50 Cent continued before, confirming that he was also offered money to perform at the RNC, but turned it down because he prefers to steer clear of politics. He said, I don't even go far into it. I didn't even want to talk to them about that kind of stuff. I'm afraid of politics, the Power series creator said. I do not like, he said, I do not like no part of politics. It's no gang banging and no politics. Well, they had the CEO of Death Row up in there, and I guess because, he was pardoned by Trump. So that's probably why he showed up. Now, 50 Cent did add this. He said it's because when you do get involved in it, no matter how you feel, there will always be someone who passionately disagrees with you. I stay away from religion and politics. That's the formula for the confusion that sent Kanye to Japan. He said something about both of those things, and now he can only go to Japan. He said, yeah, your ass been banned in Japan. Now, here 50 Cent is referring to online clips that show disgraced rapper and fashion designer Kanye West living and working in Japan. West has been persona non grata in much of mainstream public life after launching a series of anti-Semitic tirades online in 2022. She said, I want to get involved. And you want to know something? No shade, but I don't blame him. Because first of all, 50 Cent has got way too much to lose. Now, in regards to the other one, Kanye is he's a self-saboteur. So I'm not surprised that he would go and sabotage his own situation. Because he thought, which is why I call him Kanye, that if I align myself with them white folks, they'll have my back. That's what you thought. And that's what a lot of y'all be out here doing. Like that queen that was just on CNN looking like a dirty Q-tip with that blonde fucked up bleached ass hair he has. Trying to read down Beyonce, talking about she should be worrying about keeping her album on the charts because it's no longer on the charts. Then out here campaigning with Kamala Harris. Well, girl, you need to make sure your pussy clean before somebody run up in you raw dog before you start worrying about what Beyonce should be out here doing. Miss Mamas. So worry about that and stop looking like a dry ass, dirty ass Q-tip. Cause that's what that hair was giving. I can't stand some of them no dark skinned queens that be out here trying to dye their hair looking like Wayman from fucking A Low Down Dirty Shame, trying to read Beyonce. Like, girl, go sit down somewhere before you end up getting slapped by Bernard. Now, if y'all seen A Low Down Dirty Shame, y'all get the references. Anyway, so I'm actually, 50 Cent be getting on my damn nerves with a lot of things, especially when he tries to come for certain people and in the trolling and all that other mess. But when it comes to this, I totally agree with him on this. It's like, I'm not aligning myself with politics. I'm not getting involved with it with Kamala Harris. I'm not getting involved with it with Donald Trump. And I kind of wish that we weren't in a time where it's just like celebrity endorsements would make or break a political who we vote for. It should not have to take a Beyonce, a Marc Anthony, a Jennifer Lopez, a Ricky Martin, a Lizzo. It shouldn't take all of these people for y'all to wake up and realize what the hell's happening in the country. It shouldn't take a celebrity for y'all. Y'all don't listen to these politicians, excuse me, because I'm, Corby's making me gassy. It shouldn't take a politician. I mean, it shouldn't take a celebrity for y'all to just be listening or wanting to get or understand politics. These politicians need to learn, I guess, how to articulate what it is that they need a little better. But I guess because politics is boring, a lot of people don't want to listen to when they're talking about, how are you going to help us reduce, healthcare costs, or, how are we inflation is down, so we can pretty much take a breather on that. It's just the cost of everything else is high. That's what we need to worry about, is the fact that how we can get these other high cost of things down, especially when you have a lot of these private companies that are price gouging. But inflation is down. So I understand that with him. And I know, like, when 50 Cent got his own network and, he started he's building his own studio in Louisiana. He's trying to be, the heterosexual Tyler Perry and making his stuff, especially capitalized on the Empire. I mean, I said Empire, not Empire. Power. Well, it was the same type of damn show, kind of in the same wheelhouse. So that's what he's focusing on. And Kanye thought he could just run out here and be like, oh yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Trump just like people who like him or kiss his ass. Which I couldn't imagine what it's like being part of that family. I know all them damn family members is miserable. They sit out here windmilling so hard for that man and running around campaigning and all this other stuff. But I'm sure like them drugs was keeping them, the drugs and the prostitutes. Because y'all can't be of a sound mind trying to deal with all that all day. So I'm actually on it. And I'm sure that if it came up that they asked Trump, is this true? He'll probably lie and deny it. Just like he said he don't know who Tony Hinchcliffe is. I was like, how do you not? We all know maybe y'all don't know, but I know it's a damn lie, because I told you I did Tony's Kill Tony podcast. He did, like, I believe 3 nights at Madison Square Garden. Worked all 3 of them. Not my choice. He does a lot of they do a lot of unfiltered, dirty, real, crude jokes, which like I said, I'm all for it if it's funny. His stand-up routine was not funny that he did at the RNC. I mean, at this rally, whatever the hell is what it is. And they do something where they have 2 comedian impersonators who, one dresses up as Joe Biden, the other one dresses up as Donald Trump. So I'm sure Donald Trump knows who Tony Hinchcliffe is, because if he didn't know obviously, if they didn't know who he was, then they wouldn't have asked him to be the opening comedian act. So you know who he is. So this whole always trying to play like y'all dumb and blind and deaf, dumb and blind, and then trying to channel Mariah Carey every time y'all get your foot in your mouth. I don't know who he is. I don't know who that is. Stop it. So I asked all of this. What do you guys think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are regarding 50, do you agree with his assessment of, what, I'm just gonna stay out of politics. I just do business. I do what I need to do. I mind my business. I keep my head down, because what y'all not going to do is destroy everything that I built just because I have an opinion that's different than yours. And like I said before, I'm all for people have a difference of opinion. I don't agree with everything everybody says. However, when it's a detriment to my life, yeah, we're gonna have a problem. If you talking about you rather see me dead because of the way I was born or who I was born as, that you don't see me as a human being, which is when we're gonna get into that Mehdi Hasan story after this one. Then we got a problem. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. I was like, what's going on? Oh, I see it. I was bugging because I was like, where are my comments? I don't see any of the comments. Oh, now I see them. I was freaking out. I was like, bitch, where's my comments? Oh no! Oh yeah, he was there. Oh yeah, you weren't. I don't think you were here for the show yesterday. Child, I broke the whole shit down about Trump and the rally and all the other stuff. So I'm considering breaking that up into like one full thing. But that video, that segment, I think is a good 30 minutes, 30 to 45 probably. But yeah, I pretty much just broke everything down how it all went down. Yes, I mean at the rally. So yeah, Hulk Hogan was there. Dr. Phil was there. The cackle for me, and I'll repeat it, was Hulk Hogan comes out with this giant flag, waving it, looking like the village idiot. And you could definitely see in the t-shirt he had back rolls. Yes, come on, Alyssa Edwards. He had back rolls, yeah, but he still got muscle in his arm. And I don't know if it was like you got injections or whatever the case, or maybe he don't, the body is just the way it is forever. Because I'm like, if you really had arm strength, and what made me cackle was he tried to rip the shirt off of him because he had two shirts on. So he tried to rip the other shirt. And I guess, when they give the illusion that they're really ripping it, they'll cut like a piece at the top so that gives you like a head start on how to rip your shirt. He was struggling to rip it, and I'm sitting there just laughing while he's trying to do all of that. But everybody's living for it. And I realized that when it comes to those rallies, like the type of people they go for, which makes perfect sense why a lot of men and a couple of women are going after, like, are really into Trump and stuff. Because I think it's, people who are hockey fans, people who are into wrestling, like a lot of that pomp and circumstance. I realize those are the type of demographics they go for, and that's what it felt like. Like a lot of those people who like the WWE, I realized a lot of those fans was up in the air because they was living for it. When Hulk Hogan came out, they lost it. When Dana White came out, they were hyped because Dana White is with the UFC, which is actually coming to my job next month. So I'm working that event. So you say he would have lost more money than that pay. Yeah, he would have lost. He would definitely lost a lot of money, and he understands that. See, the one thing about 50 Cent, say what you want, but he's smart, especially when it comes to his paper. So I hate people that project their insecurities, especially on a network like Fox News. Beyonce doesn't know him, and now they. Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The one that looked like a dirty Q-tip. You said, well, isn't he in his 70s? Oh, I would be. Oh, you talking about Hulk Hogan? Probably. I would not be surprised. Child, not cream people. You said cream people love to wave the American flag. Well, look, sometimes I like to I call them YT. We call them clear folk. Real got names. But yeah, cream definitely works. But yeah, they definitely do. They love to wave these American flags, and I don't understand. It's like, and then y'all talking about we don't want anybody coming in the country. And I was like, you do know this country was built on the backs of immigrants and slaves, correct? Like, it wasn't built by white folks. I mean, why do the jobs that you can get other people to do? But anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Marc Anthony, who is the latest to go in on Donald Trump. So now we talked a little bit about it yesterday that, ever since they made the comment about Puerto Rico, Tony Hinchcliffe, he was the one that made the comment about Puerto Rico. And, Kamala Harris, they said she just so happened to be at a Puerto Rican restaurant when all that went down. Like, it was just like, coincidental how that's all worked out. And she was like in Pennsylvania, trying to get a lot of those people to come on her side. And she's been doing the groundwork. Trump basically is not. And that's why I said, why, if he really wants to be president. And here's another theory I have. I really feel like he doesn't want to be president. I feel like he's purposely sabotaging, unless you're just a glutton for punishment or you're just a self-saboteur to begin with, and you just don't see the signs. But I really feel like he is purposely sabotaging his campaign by just saying and doing whatever without any kind of consequence. So I really feel like there is some self-sabotage. But then I was watching the CNN thing where there was this Puerto Rican, I think he's a podcaster or radio host or whatever, very popular. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down. I think his name is George. But anyway, so he was basically talking about how, like, he was speaking to a lot of the constituents, like a lot of the people, Puerto Rican people who listen to his show. And he said, if Trump was to apologize, would y'all forgive him and vote for him? They were like, no, because the damage is already done. You should have apologized immediately when you got up on that stage, because it was 5 hours had passed since Tony said what he said. You didn't get up there. You didn't reprimand him. You didn't say, oh, these aren't the opinions of the thing. Why would he? He loves the roar of the crowd. This is basically him getting in his Madonna Beyonce bag. He thought that he was this rock star. And that's what I think, like, these things are when it comes to him. These rallies and all that. This is him doing like he's on his greatest hits tour. That's what it feels like. That, with these people that are loyal to him, that come to the arena, they didn't pay a damn dime except for when they wanted to get drinks and food. Like I said before, thank the Lord we do not sell alcohol. And I'm sure people got their buzz or whatever it was when it was on the outside. They ain't got nothing to do with us. But inside, we was not selling alcohol. I was like, can you imagine 11 hours of people just drinking, and I'm having to deal with incompetent, drunk-ass people and having to constantly call for Secret Service and security and all these other people to come in and have these people removed off the premises. There was one dude that was jacked, had like one of those long beards, white guy. I was like, ooh, first of all, I'd be like, now I would actually, and I don't bottom, but I was like, well, I let him throw me up against a wall, because he was giving me like, he was just jacked for your nerve. He looked like he was like one of those, I said he looked like the killer. Like, those snipers that you be seeing in like those action movies. That's what he was giving me. He was a white dude. I said, ooh. But anyway, getting serious now. That's why I said I just feel like he's sabotaging. So then basically the podcaster said that, yeah, people, the one thing about Puerto Ricans is like, yeah, they, a proud bunch of people, proud community. I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends. Of course, growing up in New York, I have a lot of family members who are of Puerto Rican descent. I am not Puerto Rican. I am part Spaniard. So but I do have a lot of Puerto Rican family members. I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends. I even have a lot of Italian family members too. So it's like we all a melting pot on my mother's side of the family. So funny enough, I just saw my half Italian cousin yesterday when I went to go deal with the situation. I was telling y'all I had to deal with my grandmother, who was scared because she in the house by herself and her alarm kept going off. It just, the battery need to be changed. So I had to go deal with that. But so yeah, I totally get it, but the guy was like, he spoke to another person and he said that the reason why, he said, oh, he already did the mail-in ballot. He voted for Trump and he regrets it because of all the stuff that came out, because it probably happened the day, because I think he probably voted the day that all this rally stuff was going on, but it didn't really hit the media until, or people didn't become aware of what was said, and probably until Monday morning. Sunday was like, yeah, it was popping up here and there in the news later on at night, but everybody usually gets and becomes fully aware of what's going on Monday. So he went, and the guy was like, he regrets voting for him, but what he is going to do, he said he's going to fix the issue by telling all his friends and all his family to vote for Kamala Harris. So I said, that's a good thing. That is like, yeah, the way you hurt somebody for saying that, and this is why I don't understand how, but you can't say that Puerto Ricans are all loyal in regards of, or forgetful, whatever the case is, because here's the thing. Now, the way that man handled Hurricane Maria, there was 2 hurricanes that they had when it happened in Puerto Rico, and then the throwing of the paper towels, y'all still was going to vote for him? Like, make it make sense. Like, he didn't give a damn about y'all when he was president, when the hurricane happened, but it took for him to say this for y'all to get upset. And it was another thing, because a friend of mine posted this, and I screenshot it, and I was like, First of all, it irritated me about what the post was, because I feel like, people can multitask. So he posted a speaker at a Trump rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. So his response was, calling Puerto Rico a floating garbage is evil and racist, but murdering thousands of children is way more evil and racist. Let's be very clear on that, since libs seem to always be more outraged by rhetoric than actions. So, first of all, that pissed me off when I read that, because it's like, so clearly I feel like maybe in your brain, you can only be, you're basically a one situation voter. So your only thing that you care about living in the United States of America, and I'm not sitting here saying that Palestinians aren't valuable, that Palestinians aren't people, that Palestinians shouldn't have to be going through what they're going through. Y'all already know how I stand on that situation when I talk about it consistently on this show. I do not like the fact that billions of our taxpaying dollars are being sent over to Israel for them to bomb Palestinians, and now we're going after Iranians, and we're going after anybody who ain't white, who's basically brown. And the fact of the matter is that I've seen all these damn Jews that was up in there at this rally with their flag, just happy to be, waving their flag, but you're spewing your racism and your hatred, which is exactly what this dude did that we're going to get into to Mehdi Hasan at CNN, which is he's been since fired from. So when you have that kind of mindset, those are the ones that piss me off, not the ones, the actual Jews that are out here that are like, yeah, this is not right, what is happening over here. And we stand with common sense. We don't sit up here and act like that we're the better race or whatever, which is what a lot of people, particularly, as it was said, cream folk or clear people, there's some of you racists think that you are the superior race, that nobody else exists or matters in your situation. Anybody, you can just kill everybody and get rid of them. We don't care about y'all because we are the superior race. But you start thinking of that Aryan type of situation, ain't nobody got time for it. And I don't have time for y'all. But to me, that angered me, because you're trying to sit up here and say that, oh, basically it's just, so what? So Puerto Ricans are a floating pile of garbage? That what's happening to Palestinian people being killed is more important? There were people that were in that hurricane in Puerto Rico that is part of the United States of America that were killed. So do their lives not matter? Only Palestinian lives matter? So that's basically what I was getting from this post, is that you're basically saying their lives over in Palestine are more important than Puerto Ricans. And it's like, why can't we all just be empathetic towards Puerto Rico, but also be empathetic towards Palestine? Why does it have to be one or the other? That's what causes these divisions. We can all look at certain different things on a situation by situation basis and come to a conclusion. I'm not somebody that's just very, blinders on, like the horse blinders, and just one track and thinking like, okay, because they won't do this thing about Palestine, I'm going to throw away my vote. I'm going to watch the world burn because that's the most important thing on my mind. What about healthcare? What about what's going on in this country? So you want to be broke for the rest of your life? So you want to be worrying about how you going to rob Peter to pay Paul? Not literally rob somebody, but y'all know what I mean. So there's a bunch of things that I'm more concerned about in regards of trying to make sure that I get to do what I need to do to survive in this world before I can start finding the energy and the wherewithal to help other people. So yeah, when I saw that post, that was like angering me, because I said, you sound fucking stupid. And I feel like you really don't understand how politics and everything really works. You just think it's just this one or the other type thing. Or you must think that politics is black and white. But what are you exactly doing out there besides posting anti-liberal rhetoric on your social media? And you can post whatever the hell you want to post, but at least know what the hell you're talking about if you're going to post something. So I said all this, and I didn't even get to what Marc Anthony had to say, because I was building all this up, especially talking about Trump and Tony dumbass in Puerto Rico. But let's get into Marc Anthony. So I literally spent damn near 10 minutes talking about all this other stuff, didn't even get to Marc. So the Puerto Rican superstar, who's 56, endorsed Democrat Kamala Harris in the U.S. presidential election in a new video one day after comedian Tony Hinchcliffe was blasted for branding Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage at the rally. Now, in the video, Anthony said, "I'm here to tell you that even though some have forgotten," yeah, because they did definitely, that's why I was saying before, y'all did forget. He said, I remember what it was like when Trump was president. I remember what he did and said about Puerto Rico. About our people, I remember after Hurricane Maria devastated our island, Trump blocked billions in relief while thousands died. So when people go around making comments about Palestinian children, which, yes, I grieve over the fact that when I see those videos intentionally, because I want the reminder of what is happening out in the world. I don't try to shield myself from things. So I have it on my Instagram where I can get sent information about what's going on outside the US that, certain situations, Western media and things try to block. My heart breaks for when people are killed without having, and nobody does anything about it, or that my money is contributing to that when I don't want it to. And how corporations are funding the billions of dollars along with our own taxpaying dollars to certain people. But yeah, I didn't forget what he did during Hurricane Maria and how he did block aid. He don't care about y'all, but y'all be out here windmilling hard for this man. Y'all be out here willing to lay down on the tracks for him. Lay on the grenade for him. Why was I thinking about Bruno Mars and that damn song? I don't get it. And it's like, to me, it's like, what is it? And I've said this many a times. I don't care who you vote for, but I'm just curious as to what is it about Donald J. Trump that any of his policies, what he's about, what he stands for, the things that comes out of his mouth, what is it about him that makes you feel like, you know what? He's a perfect man for the job. Especially when we've given y'all a laundry list of many of things of how many times the man's gone bankrupt, how many times he has pulled fraudulent situations to get money and grifted money out of people, the Trump University, all the things. The denying Black people the ability to rent apartments in his buildings. And they had a nerve in that damn rally to talk about, but many rappers have written songs about him and they were all his friends. No. Yeah, but they didn't know all this stuff about you back then. So now we got social media that we have a situation where we can remind people of things. And Trump probably wasn't an issue back then. He wasn't as problematic. There were little things that he did here and there, like with the Central Park 5 and things of that nature. But he wasn't as radical and Looney Tunes as he was until he started running for presidency. It's like it was this shift. He did what he had to do to get what kind of power he wanted to get. And and it seemed like politics is the new grift. Because like everybody wants to get into it. So yeah, I'm with Marc when he said, I never forgot. But that's why I don't understand how y'all had particularly a lot of you Puerto Ricans had selective memory. He basically called y'all criminals and rapists. He basically said that he was going to separate children from their families and threatened to use the army to do it. Like literally when I was working this event, I saw the propaganda that was on those jumbotrons that he was out here promoting. How they basically was saying that if Kamala Harris becomes president, these are going to be your new landlords. And basically showed a picture of it looked like a bunch of gangbangers, Latino gangbangers that was in a prison. What they tried to say was the United States, but child, like no United States prison looked like that. That looked like one of those Colombian, Venezuelan type prisons where you have them all bunched up in a thing. They had tattoos and everything all over their face and basically said that she was going to let all the migrants in who are criminals because that's how he looks at y'all. But meanwhile, I bet you we went on Mar-a-Lago and we checked the papers of them Latinos and Latinas that work for him. I guarantee you, they're probably illegal. So when you go in around here saying all kinds of stuff, make sure you got your I's dotted and your T's crossed before you start spreading misinformation and racist rhetoric. And that's the thing when it came with Tony Hinchcliffe. Nobody has a problem with you saying, offensive jokes. I love an offensive joke. I've said that many times on this show. I even say things that is just like, but y'all know where it's coming, what place it's coming from. I'm not a bigot. I'm not a racist. I don't hate people. I'm an equal opportunity offender. And I say it with love. But also, you got to be clever in your delivery. You can't just be like, and a lot of you white comedians, y'all have gone through life, a lot of you, not having to work as hard to really deliver your jokes. The reason why people of color, women, others outside of being white and male have been able to get away with the things and y'all want to call it woke and all this other mess is because for your entire lives, you've been just laid out the red carpet where you feel you could just say and do whatever without consequence. And now that you're being called out on your shit, not only being ignorant, bigoted, and racist, but unfunny, y'all can't take it. Just take the L and realize the jokes was not funny. They didn't land. And they were lazy. It's almost as like you use Chat GPT to come up with them damn jokes. I remember you talking about, oh yeah, for Halloween you were carving watermelons. I was waiting for the fried chicken joke to come after that. Like, come on now, that's the best y'all can come up with, associating black folks with watermelon. I'm so glad I hate watermelon. I can't stand watermelon. I really cannot. Because I'm like, it has no taste. So I've never been a watermelon guy. But that's probably because I'm half black. See, there's a joke in there. But when you're white and lazy, that's what it is. So basically, he basically said that this election goes way beyond political parties. Now, let's remember that the United States represents and stands for. It's our name, United. Regardless of where we're from, I'm Marc Anthony. I remember, and that's why I support Kamala Harris for president. Well, yeah, maybe these people that are at these Trump rallies, that's what they call it, USA, because I can't tell you how many times I heard USA, USA, USA. I'm like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I said that in my head, though. I wasn't saying it out loud because I like to keep my job. But maybe that people forgot that that's what USA means. USA basically means United States of America. It's to where we're supposed to be united. It is the United States of America until the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. ALL, not just you and white people. It's for all people. And you have to realize why people come to this country. They want a better way of life. It's not just, oh, we're just leaving the borders wide open. Remember that fence you still didn't finish building? What's going on with that? And then you put situations in place to make it difficult for things to be passed for the border issue. So when you do things and then the consequence of your action, then you're like, oh my God, like, look, they just left this a mess. No, you left it a mess. And now you want to point the finger because you never had to deal with cleaning up your own messes. And trust to believe, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had a lot of mess to clean once he got up out that damn White House. And that's why I laughed when the people up in there at the MSG rally were sitting up there saying, well, she had 4 years to pass things and do bit. I'm like, really? Because last time I checked, the word vice was in front of the word president when we're referring to Kamala Harris. She is not the president. She is the vice president. She is not the one that at the end of the day makes the executive decision. Now, she can come out and chirp in Biden's ear about certain things. But basically, the vice president is the assistant. She ain't the one making the decisions and actually signing the bills into place. That's like with Tim Walz. When she get in that office, she the one that got to sign on them bills. She the one that got to make the decisions. She the one that's got to push for the policies, not Tim Walz. Tim Walz will probably, if something, God forbid, happened to Kamala, then he steps in as the president. That's how it works. You put all these people in place so that when God forbid anything happened to the president, next person steps in. Something happened to the vice president, you bring in the next person, Secretary of State. It's just like people don't understand politics and how the thing works. They just, all they care about is, oh, these people coming in our country and they're taking all these things. And I'm mad because I can't keep a job. Because you're an asshole. That's probably why you couldn't keep the job. How you blaming them? These people are just as qualified as you. But anyway, so as I said before, like I said, this is a nation that's supposed to be for all. And that's why a lot of people came into this country. They wanted a better way of life because when they go to other countries that they're not, they're trying to escape the dangers of their world. And coming into America, it provides, based off of the perception of what they've been told, a better way of life. You have Trump up in here, that ain't gonna happen. So y'all keep windmilling for him if you want. But it kind of makes me understand, and makes me wonder too, like anybody who is not white, this is a question for y'all, Latinos, Asians, blacks, because I've seen all of them up in that rally. Who hurt y'all? Like, I want to know who taught y'all to self-hate yourselves, because I really don't understand, because the self-hatred is real. Like, for you to get up there and actually be wanting to align yourself and be in a room with people who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, I don't understand like how you could align yourself with those people. Like, what are you thinking that you're going to get out of it? Like, you thinking you're going to be finally accepted in the cult, that they're going to appreciate and like you? And I can't tell you how many people actually thanked me for doing the event. And I'm like, if you only knew. Like I told you, I was there out of curiosity and a historical situation, so I could say that I was in this room at the time when this happened. It's like, so, you know, you could tell people when you get to be like 80, 90 years, oh yeah, I was there at the time when this happened and this historical moment and all this other stuff. I wanted to be a part of that. Now, I know there was people that I worked with that was just like, no, this is too much. I can't do it. And you could write my ass up. I don't care. But me, I was just like, it was a curiosity thing for me. I was inquisitive, so that's why I did it. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I mean, I like the fact that we have people like Marc Anthony speaking out, Jennifer Lopez. We have Ricky Martin speaking out. We had who else was it? Luis Fonsi spoke out. But it seemed like what's his name? Nicky Jam's still quiet. We haven't heard from her. And what about the other one? Unwell, that dummy. You've been real quiet over there, sir. So let us know, because I guess apparently you do live on a floating island of shit or whatever the hell it was that Tony said. So let me know in your head. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Wait, let me see, because I gotta scroll up. Cream people. I'm still cagging over that term. I gotta remember that. And you said, child, I went on my story regarding that rally. You have to be willfully ignorant and nearsighted to not see what he's doing. Yeah, I couldn't understand it. I'm like, and funny enough, when I was talking to like some of the people that I work with or whatever, they were like, I cannot believe these people are sitting here eating this shit up. And I'm like, I don't get it either, but you know, I won't say that people are stupid. It's just the delusion of it all. But like it was said yesterday, I just feel like that people are aligning this because they don't like change. They don't like that, no shade, but white people are becoming the minority. And, you know, Latinos are becoming the majority demo that is coming into the United States, and you know, the population and all that other stuff. So, and especially like in Pennsylvania, because I remember like my younger brother lived in Reading, Pennsylvania, and when I was watching the thing, he was talking about how the podcaster, he was talking about how like, yeah, there is a huge population of Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania, particularly in Reading. So it's like, yeah, they leave New York and they go right to Pennsylvania, which I'd rather that than Florida. No shade to you Floridians, but you already know. Now, talking about that floating island of filth, you know, I've always said I could have sworn that was Florida based off of the way that y'all be doing the things that y'all be doing down there, and got that dumb governor, the Satan. And you said what he's doing and the people he surrounds himself with. I could never sit and continue to support someone who disrespects my culture and threatening my people. I have too much stuff. Exactly. He talked about the Haitians, which somebody did shout out, oh, they're eating the cats. And I said, oh, so now you running with that narrative. Y'all just he just be giving people ammo of stupidness to say. And so, yeah, that's why I said I have way too much self-respect for myself to even just be caught up in that trap of crap. And you said, I'm going to need those affirmative action, abolishing Asian Americans to wise up and stop. Okay. Yeah, there was Maria and Irma. Those were the two hurricanes in 2017. And yeah, and he withheld aid and people died and he still did nothing about it. So then, and so he refused to give Puerto Rico any aid after Hurricane Maria. And what the hell were they supposed to do with the paper towel? Wipe their ass with it, apparently. Or he could have used, I'd have just throw it back at him and tell him to wipe his wide ass with it. And trust and believe it is wide because I've seen it up close. So I was like, did I have something in my tea? I was eating chocolate before. It's chocolate. Today's episode was brought to you by Twix. Yeah, because I was like snacking on some candy earlier because I was like, I need to eat something. I said there were trees down by my house after Irma. Also, by the weekend, I was able to go see. I've never seen Depeche Mode. I want to see them in person. You know, I love me some Dave Gahan. But I was like, yeah, So I remember when I was a kid, we used to have a lot of hurricanes in New York. We don't really have hurricanes like that anymore. But yeah, when I was a kid and I lived in Brooklyn, it was like we used to have hurricanes, and that I used to love. Well, I used to be scared, but also I used to like having the hurricane because it'd be a day off from school. But yeah, we don't really have hurricanes no more. It's just like we have gusty winds and heavy rain and flooding, which Eric Adams' dumbass didn't do anything about. I'm still pissed at him that I had to pay $200 for an Uber to get from Manhattan. I still want to take that damn bill and shove it up his stink ass. I can't stand that damn mayor. And I can't wait till he gets kicked out and thrown in jail, being a bum. But anyway, and a thief. Apartheid was deplorable and ungodly. Yeah, and then they had that old clown Elon Musk get up there looking like one of the most special needs people. He was giving Stewart from Bad TV. Like, and then just, I'm like, what is it? I said, everybody else gave a speech and had it, I won't say compelling, but everybody gave a speech where it's like they knew what they was going to say. They said what they needed to say. And then Elon get up there looking like a doofus and sounding like a bumbling idiot. Then it went from one bumbling idiot, well, it was like back to back. They went from him to the mail order first, the first whore. And then after that, she introduced her wide ass husband. And y'all seen how awkward that kiss was. But he got the nerve to talk about, or it wasn't him, I think it was Tucker Carlson that said this, that that old fat fuck. He got up there and said that their relationship isn't real, hers and her husband, because she kissed him with a mask on. But I'm like, I'd rather kiss my husband with a mask on because I don't want him to get COVID than actually getting up there and having to pretend I'm in a loving relationship with someone who can't stand the sight of your ass. And you probably had to beg her to come out to that MSG rally to give her, little speech with that heavy ass accent she got. Because she was giving vampire tease when she was talking. And you said, apartheid was deplorable and ungodly in South Africa, and the apartheid inflicted upon the Palestinian population is unjust and reprehensible. Would Jesus bomb Palestinian children? Well, maybe we need to tell that to these damn Christians and tell that to these Jews, and who knows, maybe they would see it that way. But, they only, people like to see what they want to see. They get selective memory when it comes to things. Just like they want to cherry pick out the Bible, they want to cherry pick with that too. And they said, I don't know how Trump has any non-white supporters. He'd have a lot of them deported if he was able. Exactly. But I think in their mind, because I was really sitting there racking my brain trying to analyze the situation and break it down. And so what is it about this man that y'all feel like, do y'all feel like, oh, he ain't talking about me because I pulled myself up in my bootstraps. I'm not one of those immigrants. I was actually born in America. You think he even knows that? That's like when I always say about when y'all talk about cops being racist and that sort of thing, that they don't know you Haitian. They don't know you Jamaican. They don't know you're Dominican. They see you as dark skin. They think you black. That's all they look at. They don't care what your nationality or your background is. They look at your skin color and everybody black. Everybody who isn't perceived to be white and you can't pass, which has been going on since slavery. You are black to them. They don't care they don't care that they're not going to compartmentalize your nationality. Y'all may, people who understand diaspora and all that other stuff, y'all get that. White people ain't getting that, especially if you're a racist. So maybe they need to kind of put it in their mind, but I guess everybody braining like mine. So and it's funny that they complain about immigrants coming to the U.S. but fail to realize that the U.S. or other Western powers screwed over the immigrants' countries that resulted in absolutely, especially when Americans like to stick their damn nose into what they should be sticking their nose in. When you go and interject your stuff in people's things, it's like, yeah, the colonizers going over there trying to indoctrinate and force their Western ways on these other countries that should be able to just do what they do. And it's funny how we're like a young country. We're like we're under 300 years old. We're like 250 years old. So how is it that with us being a young nation, how we have so much power to just influence the entire world? I just don't get that. So yeah, and it's like that's why they come over here. But you know what? If they didn't ban books in schools, they would know this. Oh, I heard. I still didn't get to watch yesterday's episode of The View. I'm gonna check it out today. I'm still behind. The only thing I got to watch yesterday was Dragula. which Majesty went home, and they tried to tell us excuse of her mental health and all this other stuff. But child, I heard tea. I actually heard that the reason why she went home because Desiree Dix threw out her makeup. That was the tea, and was trying to sabotage and do some behind the scenes mess. So they trying to sell a whole different narrative. So they said, oh, so yeah, I would definitely want to see that one, especially with Sunny Hostin being half Puerto Rican. So I know she was livid. It's mostly the northern part of Florida that are the oh, yeah, y'all can keep Miami and maybe Orlando. I saw Melania's book at Tarjay. How much was it? Was it cheap? Oh, another question. Because I know this had to be a damn lie. First of all, I heard Melania's book is a flop. But then he was talking about that hers, he said after, she introduced him, he was like, oh, I thought she probably put some bad things in there about me and made little jokes or whatever. And it was like, yeah, we know your ass ain't joking. We know you probably doing all kinds of crazy stuff to that lady. She know when to step in line. And that's why you be married these immigrants, because these American women ain't gonna put up with your shit unless you get you one of them old trailer trash types. So he went and basically said that her book is the best-selling book of all time, New York Times bestseller, #1. He says things, and this is how you always catch him in a lie. It's like when he says something, it's like, say it, move on. No, the audience reacts. He's got to add to the gumbo. It's like everything don't need every part of the seasoning in the cabinet. Just throw a little salt in it, throw a little extra seasoning. The thing that you don't gotta add every ingredient. But he keeps going and going and going. It's like, I know your ass lying. But I did hear that her book flopped. Because who the hell was gonna buy a book from her? Talking about what were you gonna talk about? Unless you was really about to spill some tea. I feel like the only ones that was gonna buy her book would be Trump supporters, like the hardcore ones. And like I said, there were some people that was there at the event that, to me, I felt like some of them were there just so that way they can get the photo op. It was a free situation, so they were going to sit through the crap, and then go and, I guess, once he came out, based off where they were sitting, get their little pictures and be like, I was there, and keep it moving. Because a lot of people did start leaving once Trump came out. Took their picture and they left. Security was telling me that. It was like that, people came in, just wanted their photo, waiting for him to come out, and then they left. They were like, where's the exit? Then there was a lot of people that actually stood there. And so I know some people were saying, oh yeah, it wasn't packed. Yes, it was. It was 20,000 people in that damn arena. I looked, trust and believe. I was on the 6th floor, which is basically close enough to the stage. And I was on the side next to the media box. So all the press, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, I was literally right next to their situation. And I had so many damn media people coming in trying to get down to the 5th floor. And I'm like, you in the wrong section. You got to go next door. So you can't come over here through there. But anyway, you said Trump thought Puerto Rico was a foreign country. It's part of the United States. But that's why I said if they stop banning history books and banning all kinds of stuff, they would know this. They're just trying to keep everybody dumb. Yeah, Robert's finally in the building. So I think her book was about $25, $30. I didn't even look at the actual price. Saw it there and cackled. Not $25 or $30. Who's gonna pay that for a book that should have been a pamphlet? You said I read that rally hurt him and has his campaign scrambling because the joke led them to actually break protocol and say it's too late. And that's why I said when I was talking earlier, because you said you was late, and yes, sir, you said a queen is never late. But yeah, now I'm gonna start using that because y'all know I always be late on this damn show. But not on purpose though. I be having a set time, and then all of a sudden I can't follow through with it. I'm like, look, they know I'll eventually be coming on. But yeah, they were trying to sit up here and say, oh, then they waited till today, I believe, to say, oh yeah, it wasn't us. We don't agree with. We don't know who Tony Hinchcliffe is. I'm like, really? Because like I said before, Tony Hinchcliffe does crude comedy and actually has two comedians that one that impersonates Joe Biden, another one impersonates Donald Trump. So you know who this guy is. Just like if Joe Rogan was to come out and say something tomorrow, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know him. You just did his damn podcast. So how you don't know him? You don't know Theo Vaughn either. You just did his podcast. You don't know Logan Paul. Did you just do his podcast too? So you know who these people are that you're going after when you say the things that you say. That's why I get irritated. It's like, oh yeah, y'all want to distance. No, because it's like, and this is why I said it also about them type of clear folk that y'all don't know what the line is. Y'all saying the quiet parts out loud, and you feel like, you know what? Let's see how far we can go, and then when we do go over the line, then we could pull it back. But look, Tony didn't apologize. He said that, oh, you know, the libs, we can't take a joke. Oh, I definitely can take a joke, and I always say this with people: if you can take a dick, you can take a joke. So, we can take a joke if it's funny. You just weren't funny. There's a difference. Why when jokes don't land, nobody's got a sense of humor? That's what I don't get. And y'all should know that's a part of the game, especially when you're a comedian. Every joke is not going to work. You said it was them. They are racist, but now trying to deflect because they're getting a lot of shit. Absolutely. And that's basically, speaking of which, this takes us into our next story, because this is what this heifer did. You know, when Ryan Girdusky got up there and said what he said on CNN, because, you know, a lot of these people that's running out here, these pundits, everybody's trying to be Trump. And that's why I said, because just because it works for him does not mean that what his style is going to work for y'all. Oh, look, now we found a new way to get attention, to go viral. So people say things, and this guy says what he said to Mehdi Hasan. And then when y'all watch the clip, I really need y'all to pay attention to his face, because there's a certain point where the look on his face, especially when that sister, I don't know what her name was, but bow down to you, Miss Mama, when she lit into his ass about I don't have to be Puerto Rican to have empathy for Puerto Ricans, and I don't have to have empathy for that, you know, when all the other stuff is like, that's what you should do. It's like, even if you're not of that race, you should have empathy for other people, your brothers and your sisters, and that sort of thing. I'm so glad I was born with that empathy gene, or I was raised right. And there's a look that Ryan gives on his face where it's like he realized he fucked up when he said what he said. And I was like, I looked dead at his face and was like, yeah, you realize you fucked up big time. So what had happened was, I was like, what's her name? Abby Phillips did a show on CNN. I watch her sometimes, especially when she has her panels, whatever. I don't really be up in CNN like that. I more or less be watching MSNBC. I also watch Mehdi Hasan, and also I get a lot of his newsletters from his Zatio website, and I also watch Roland Martin. So those are the ones I really watch. I don't get into the Young Turks. I already know when I went on them and that bitch Anna and all the radicalizations of them over there with that show. Y'all already know how I feel about TYT, so I no longer watch that trash ass show, and they realizing that their numbers is going down because they're no longer the bee's knees when it comes about talking about politics. So I have my people that I watch, and Mehdi Hasan is one of them. So yeah, a group of people appeared on Abby Phillips' show, and it's basically they, you know, there was a commentator, a conservative commentator. I believe he was Jewish, because based off of what he said, he sounded like those types, the racist ones. I'm not saying all Jews is racist, because I got a lot of Jewish friends, but this one, he's a racist. The ones that act like the other people should just wipe them all out. They should all die. I don't give a damn. So he made a disgusting comment towards Mehdi last night. So I'm gonna play y'all that clip. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. Hold on. I was like, where is it? Because I'm like, I don't see where. Wait, don't tell me I can't do videos up on here now, because I don't know what happened to my or am I hitting the wrong thing? Huh. Why am I bugging right now? It's like, wait, no, not a new layout. That wasn't what I was trying to do. I don't know why I'm not seeing the video on the way that I could, the link that I could play the video, because I realized, I don't know if I hit the wrong button, and I hate doing this because this is freaking live as this is happening. So it's like trying to, and I hate when I can't figure out what to do on my own computer when I'm in the midst of working. Annoying. Wait, maybe I did fix it. Like, did I fix it, bitch? No, I might have made it worse. Hold on. I was like, did I make it worse? I might have. Oh, because I realized I put my damn thing in full screen. I was like, I didn't want to do that. But you know what? I'm probably just going to leave it. Nope, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Jesus, I'm just making shit worse. No, I don't want to hide it. No, I don't want to do that. And this is the worst because I'm having to do this live. So, okay, so I cannot figure it out because I wanted to play the clip for y'all. And for some reason, I cannot pull up pictures. I cannot. I don't know where all my topics went. This has been a hot ass mess with today's show. So basically, what was said, because I'm just going to have to just push through with it. So basically, okay, so let's start from the beginning because I don't know what went down with oh, there's some example banners. I don't need example banners. I need my folder with all the stuff so that way I can read comments, I can read all the things, but don't tell me that I lost everything. Well, actually, let me just put my banner up. I might have fixed it, sort of. Oh, wait. Oh, there's something down here. Oh, I think I may have found it. Please hold. I'm glad y'all being patient with me because, child, this is a mess. But anyway, so where is it? Did I lose it? Oh no, I got it. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Jesus. Because I was like freaking out. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I do have the clip of the thing. Please hold as I do the share screen because I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay, I got it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the whole thing I was telling you about with Mehdi Hasan is that he went on CNN with with what was it? Now I'm just like losing my damn train of thought. With Abby Phillips, he went on her show. He basically gave a, they were sitting there telling me what's going on with the Hezbollah situation, and this is the clip that went down. Now, please, I hope and pray that I do not end up getting demonetized, but let's take this risk. Roll the clip.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an
anti-Semite
more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. So I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die.
You should not.
No,
did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Your guest just said I should be killed on live TV.
I said I hope
Guys,
you're.
let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Hamas.
Guys, let me
I said
stop.
Palestinian.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians are not.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan,
That's disgusting.
that is completely.
No, I apologize.
Good
That
job,
is
CNN. Let's
completely
have first
out
block
of
say the
pocket.
Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
No, I
up
apologize.
on
I
TV.
apologize.
Don't say then I
Wow.
apologize. You literally.
Don't say it.
You said
Accused
Hamas. I
You didn't think I said
No,
Hamas.
no,
I
you
said I
didn't.
supported
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you hear
Rudy
Hamas.
Giuliani said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest
Listen.
to be here
All
to
right,
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani.
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
sec.
today, and so
Now hold on, before I get to the rest of the thing, it was like, yeah, because he did say, if y'all could hear that, Giuliani said the same thing yesterday, which is when he said that Palestinian kids are training to kill Jews at the age of 2. This is what he said multiple times on that damn panel at that racist rally at MSG. Now I'm gonna go back to the clip, so that way y'all can hear the rest. Please hold.
at this point,
This is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Here's what
2024.
I will say.
Forget the
Here's what
racism.
that's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't
That's-
say
that-
that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
faint
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go
a-
off?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what
I
did
said-
you mean?
What did you
No,
mean by
no,
the
no,
beeper?
no, 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 no,
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your
Listen,
beeper
but
doesn't go
like,
off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least
sorry.
have the guts to support your racist
sorry.
comment.
Hang
I'm
on.
so sorry.
Bring it back.
See, now that was if y'all caught it, that's the phase that he made was like, damn, I fucked up. Yes, you did. Cause we gonna get into the rest, but I just wanted y'all to see the facial expressions. Like, yeah, that is the part where you like, damn, I done fucked up. I shouldn't have said what I said, but you said it. And what you said was some bullshit.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis, but I'm going to threaten the brown guy as a terrorist and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler.
Man.
But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris is
here,
a pimp.
apologize, but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even say it
That's
to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
That
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to
That's-
me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said
Okay.
yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for Republicans.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you said it.
Why don't
'Cause
you take this back a little?
But child, she had time. That's why I was like, I didn't know who that sister is because she was going in. And that's why I said about people, like, if the politicians aren't going to say what needs to be said, then we need the pundits to step up and really fight fire with these crazy ass, radicalized, racist ass Republicans. When they said, child, I was not expecting this whole show to be political corner today. But we down to the wire, and this is like a heavily ran political situation, and I feel like this is important to play because it's like, yeah, this man had the nerve, the absolute gall to say out of his mouth, well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. Now, how you gonna sit up and say, oh, I didn't say that you should die? That is what you said. And this is what pisses me off about people just in general, not just political pundits that get up there and say they're racist rhetoric. This is people who like to do this thing where they say things, oh, I didn't say that. It's like when you make racist comments about people, when you make derogatory comments about people, it's like, well, I didn't say verbatim. I didn't call you the N-word to like literally call you the N-word. No, but you implied certain things that are microaggressions that Black people pick up on that is racist. It's the same thing with Mehdi Hasan. Because he is someone who is Muslim, you automatically equate Muslims with being terrorists. Which we didn't really start getting into that bag and realizing that situation, or maybe it was in my lifetime because, when I was a kid, was during the Bush administration. And now we've seen like how it's escalated since then with, 9/11 and all that other stuff. That's why I'm glad I grew up in the time that I grew up in, because then I know my history. Whereas these kids now, so many things is getting. I'm glad I came up in a time where books wasn't being banned. So Abby did speak out on what was said during her show, because I will say this. Now, once they went to commercial break, the commentator has been banned from CNN. And, after he told Mehdi, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. And so, because they're talking about this whole thing about, and for those of you who don't understand the whole connotation of the whole beeper thing, like there's been a lot of stories that have been in the news and regarding about in Lebanon, how they had exploding pagers going off that killed members of the Hezbollah militant group. And this is what was in the news last month. So when you say stuff like that, it's like, well, you're basically calling me a terrorist. That's literally what you called him on national television. So I hate the fact when you get some of these clear folk that get up on stage and they're racist and they don't want to stand on their racism. Stand on your business. Like, if you're gonna be racist, I'd rather you show me who you are than me have to worry about who you trying to be or trying to fake the funk. So yeah, Abby had this to say on courtesy of Twitter.
Hey, I'm sure everyone has seen what happened on the show tonight. I just wanted to address one quick thing. As you may have seen, Ryan was asked to leave the show, and we have put out a statement saying that he's not welcome back on our air. There is a line here on this program, and it was crossed. But I want to be clear as well that we did not ask Mehdi to not come back. In fact, we really wanted him to come back and finish the show. We had a lot to talk to him about. And we really hope that he'll join us again soon. But for those of you who are wondering why he did not come back, I just want to be super clear that that was not in any way because we didn't want him back at all. And I won't speak for him, but I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that that was not what happened there.
Yep. So clearly it was like, yeah, he was pissed off. So I could totally understand like why he didn't want to come back out there. Like when you say some stuff like that, like I would be shocked. I would be angry. Like it would take every fiber of my being not to get up out that chair and beat your ass on national TV. Like it would literally take all the ancestors to hold my ass down at that point, because it's like, oh yeah, we can show restraint in so many ways, but when you say some shit like that, it's like, oh no, sir, those are fighting words. And if you end up with a black eye, don't get mad. So I see in some of the comments they had, because the neighborhood talk posted this, and let's read some of their comments. So someone said, God damn, I love black women. Clean him up nicely. Although I would have loved to see some hands being thrown. Well, they're not going to do that on CNN. See, now I just said that. And I didn't even read your comment. But now they're talking about they want to see some fights. But no, we don't need to do that, because then white folks come out here, they say shit. And then, we people of color, we always have to show restraint. We always got to be the bigger people. We always have to turn the cheek. We always got to go high when they go low, but they, these ignorant bigots get to say whatever the hell they want with no consequence. So unfortunately, Mehdi cannot get up and put hands on this man because A, he would get sued, B, he would be put in jail, and then he'd be wrong on his part. Like, we're not gonna have another Chris Rock, Will Smith situation on national television. And so they said, I think the embarrassment of having no one on his side was enough. Yeah, everybody turned on him. And then that other white man that was up there, the conservative, he was like, oh no, you know what? You're going to fall on that sword. I'm not getting in there trying to defend you. You said what you said, stand on business. Another person said, here's a refined version. Whenever a black person is killed due to racism, especially in America, we in Africa protest and often take our demonstrations to the U.S. Embassy, demanding justice and expressing our deep displeasure. It's disheartening to see some black Americans supporting Trump, who has consistently treated black people as inferior and has emboldened racists to make derogatory remarks about black people on national television. When Derek Chauvin pinned George Floyd to his death and we took to the streets in protest, Trump dismissed the black protesters as thugs, showing no remorse in his tone. If he wins again, stereotypes white supremacy and the unjust killing of black individuals by white people, officers will likely continue, perpetuated in part by the black men and women who supported him at the ballot box. So, look, Then another person said, I hope all of you see this and vote blue. This is not a game. This presidency versus dictatorship. Another person said, people are losing their minds and becoming more unhinged. I miss the days when people had a filter and common sense. And you ain't the only one. You're not the only one, because I'm at that point too. Child, Claudia Jordan was in the comments. She said the white tees are losing it and being so ghetto. Quiet as it's kept. I was like, that's exactly what's going on. So the white tees, y'all losing it, because it's like y'all realize it's kind of like the animal that's backed into the corner with no way out. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. I was like, what happened to... I'm trying to see where my comments are, because I can't... I'm trying to read and see if there's any... I'm sure there are comments, so it's like, I can't even get to y'all comments. You know what? I'm probably going to have to do it like this. I'm probably going to have to go on the YouTube and do it this way. And I'm just going to have to do it by manually and read y'all comments and see what y'all saying. Because I'm like, why is it not showing? Why is my thing not showing up? Didn't they say that? Did I read something where they said that Nicki Minaj is supporting Donald Trump? Or was that a joke? Or were you lying? Or maybe I could do it this way. Hold on a second. Because I'm like, the way I got this thing, I'm just going to have to do it. The YouTube. Let me, wait, no, don't do that. Let me go this way. Let me go to my channel. But I'm going to mute her. See, I knew I was going to figure this out. We was going to have to get clever with the situation. And let me read some of these comments. So y'all could definitely drop the comments and stuff down. So it says, you said internet is internet. Oh, is it? You said internet is interneting. You said, I read that. Oh, yeah. You said internet is interneting. It's a representation of their president. Felix says a guy from Bob's Burgers just got sentenced to prison for being involved. Really? They said so. And then Felix also said, so Diddy's sons tried to fight Ray J and the fight was broken up by Chris Brown. This better be a lie, because I'm sitting there like, this is so ghetto. But if that's the tea, I will definitely be talking about this story tomorrow. But wait, we're supposed to be doing a Halloween episode. Oh, so we're gonna have to do a double shift tomorrow. They said, so Diddy said try to fight. Yeah, I definitely got to look at that. And then Cleveland said Melania book first week sales 85,000. Michelle Obama first week sales 636. So it is a flop. How they gonna sit up here and say that it's not a flop when it is a damn flop? Okay, what I have to do is I had to pause my my because I was like, I'm sitting there watching myself on the feedback. Cleveland also said, if Trump wins, who is he going to give pardon to? Don't even give the diddler and them any kind of ammunition, because I would not be surprised if that does happen. Now, speaking of the diddler, let's get into him. So apparently he's being sued for R-wording a 10-year-old rapper or aspiring rapper. And that's like the latest lawsuit. So, excuse me. Because I was like, no, not that one. This is like, you can't really see what you're doing. You're just basically going off a wind and a prayer. So, now, two anonymous plaintiffs apparently have sued Shawn the Diddler Combs on Monday, alleging the embattled music producer has essayed them when they were kids. I also heard that there was some tea that came out about that Diddy allegedly R-worded Biggie's son. I hope that's not true. I think I saw Lovely T posted something about that. I need to look deep into that story. And shout out to her. But I'm just sitting there like, child, now if Diddy was out here doing nasty stuff, if Diddy was out here diddling with Biggie's son, there's a special place in hell for him, not even deep enough. So they said, so according to Rolling Stone, it says Shawn Diddy Combs was hit with yet another disturbing lawsuit on Monday as he sits in a federal jail in Brooklyn, awaiting trial on racketeering and trafficking charges. The new plaintiff said he was a 10-year-old aspiring rapper when Combs allegedly drugged and R-worded him in a New York City hotel in 2005 during a purported audition. The new complaint was filed by prominent Houston lawyer Tony Busby and his California counterpart Andrew Van Arsdale as the latest in a barrage of lawsuits from anonymous plaintiffs claiming they were FA'd by Combs. Many other plaintiffs have alleged that they were surreptitiously, that's one of them TI words. Okay, let's get serious. It's alleged that they were surreptitiously, I don't know why I can't talk today, drugged, forced into acts without consent, and threatened to silence. In the new lawsuit filed in New York State Court in Manhattan, the John Doe says his parents accompanied him to Manhattan to meet with music industry executives, including Combs, to advance his career. He says a consultant hired by his parents delivered him to a hotel room and then left with Combs. According to the lawsuit, the plaintiff was given a soda that he believes was laced with drugs. This is why you don't give me nothing if it ain't closed. After plaintiff consumed his soda and began feeling its effects, Combs told plaintiff to move closer to him, which plaintiff did. Combs then abruptly pushed plaintiff down and said words to the effect of, "You have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes," the lawsuit reads. Once plaintiff had pushed plaintiff down, Combs pulled his Payne out of his pants and told the 10-year-old plaintiff to kiss it. When plaintiff resisted, Combs nevertheless forced his Payne into the plaintiff's mouth and proceeded to repeatedly push it in and out. The plaintiff alleges he froze in terror, lost consciousness, and later woke up with his pants undone and pain in his anus and buttocks. The new plaintiff alleged that his parents later noticed something was wrong. He said he told them what allegedly happened and that they were terrified of the potential consequences of reporting the abuse. He alleged he suffers from severe depression and anxiety and had to be homeschooled after the alleged incident. Now, the lawyer behind the lawsuit is interested in media attention rather than the truth, as is obvious from his constant press appearances and 1-800 number. This is what Combs' media team wrote in an email. But you know what? This seems to be y'all go-to, because y'all be sitting up here talking about, they're more interested in press appearances than an 800 number, rather than really dealing with the case. But the case is going to happen eventually, because y'all know that, law people, y'all move at a snail's damn pace. So as we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that they are facially ridiculous and demonstrably false. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. Well, if that's the case, then why is he taking the fall for everything? And then I just heard that allegedly, even though I'm like, how's this news? Like, I think we all knew this. They said that he allegedly had hidden cameras in his bedroom, so that way he could, he was recording the freak offs. Now I can understand if you was doing, your little whatever, but now you got the freak offs happening. But now you're doing it, well, regardless of the matter, you're doing it without people's permission anyway. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So they basically said that Busby previously filed 13 lawsuits against Combs in 2 waves on October 14th and October 20th. But Combs' current legal woes date back to last November when it started, with Cassie and how she got that ball rolling. So they said that 2 more women stepped forward Arkward claims a week after Ventura's lawsuit made global headlines. Several others filed similar lawsuits in months that followed as a parallel criminal investigation led into Combs' indictment by a grand jury last month. The embattled music mogul, who's 54, had pleaded not guilty. His trial is set to begin on Monday. Now, on Friday, the judge overseeing Combs' criminal case issued an order saying he expects all parties to follow evidence rules and keep sensitive, non-public information about Combs' criminal case under wraps leading to the trial. U.S. District Court Judge Aaron Submaranian, I think is how you say his name, Submaranian, yeah, issued his directive in the Southern District of New York after Combs' lawyers accused federal officials of leaking information to the media. Now, to be clear, the order isn't based on a finding that there has been any wrongdoing thus far, as the court has made no findings at this juncture relating to defendants' allegations that information related to the case had been leaked. This is what the judge wrote. The point of this order is to help ensure that nothing happens from now on that would interfere with a fair trial. Now, if convicted as charged, Combs faced a minimum of 15 years in prison with a maximum of life behind bars. And so, look, child, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. And this is no shade to the victims and everything, but I just be feeling like, you know what? We have been, every time I turn around, we have a story regarding Diddy, like another day, another Diddy story. So all we can say is, okay, so this kid filed a lawsuit. You guys have the information, do with it what you will, and we'll see what happens once the trial kicks off officially in May of 2025. But I already said in the meantime, for the next, what is that? That's like 6-7 months from now that we're going to it's going to be more lawsuits coming out. And I guess we're going to be bringing y'all the news as it develops. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts on this particular hot topic, let me know in the comments down below. Okay. Wait, I did close that. All right, so now I'm gonna read the comments. He said, can you imagine if Cassie never sued him to begin with and all those victims stayed silent? And then, yeah, and that's why I'm glad that she was smart enough to find a way to come out and speak her piece. So, and it opened Pandora's box for everybody else to feel brave enough to come out and tell their story. So you said, can you imagine if Cassie never? Then Robert says, Skittles mouth, not Skittles mouth. Are you talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine? And you said, and for violating his parole, the has-been rapper and Nicki King of Who You Doing 69 rapper is in jail. You want to know something? Y'all just gonna have to judge me. But I was like, I would definitely been Tekashi over. I just think it's because he looked like a little femme queen. That's probably why. Sometimes I'd be like, I like to hate fuck a lot of the Tekashi 6ix9ine types. And so you said, monster actor is getting dragged for dressing as the father of Lyle and Eric. Wait, which actor? Because here's the thing. We have a story that's coming up later on that a drag race girl is being dragged for going as Demi Moore's character in The Substance. So it's like, damn, everybody's so goddamn sensitive when it comes to stuff. But I want to, wait, let me look that up and see who we talking about. What you talking about, Willis? How you go with Jose Menendez for Halloween? Oops, excuse me. Oh, so it's okay. Why did I think it was Nicholas Chavez? I was thinking it had to have been him. Now Nicholas Chavez, who, for those of you probably not familiar with the name, he played Lyle in the movie. And so it said, they said that he faced criticism online after being photographed with a pair of Halloween partygoers dressed as the Menendez brothers. Is there a picture? Because I would love to see it, but you know what? I probably realized, you know what? I feel like I figured why he's doing that. And I think it's because Cooper Koch is getting all the attention right now. Like Cooper Koch is on everybody's radar. Everybody's talking about his performance in the show, especially episode 5. Everybody's raving about episode 5. Those who have seen the episode of Monster, the series of monsters, everybody, whenever you talk about Cooper Koch, you mention his name. It's two things. One is the Payne shot, which there's a whole movie where you get to see full frontal of him. Oh my God! Yet again, I forgot the damn name of it. It's like this body horror film that he's a part of, and then it's the nude scene in the shower at the prison, and then it's that 60-minute monologue that he does where he's in episode 5. So everybody's raving about Cooper Koch. Cooper Koch is getting all the attention, especially from gay media, because he's an openly gay actor. So the outs, the queer tees, and the Pink News, and the Advocate, and Andy Cohen, all of them are giving him the attention, and he's getting invited everywhere. You're not hearing about Nicholas Chavez, except he's in the Monster series and he's in Grotesquerie, but nobody's really talking about him. I mean, I like Nicholas Chavez, but yeah, I'm just like, look, I need to understand the context of why he's a part of it, but whatever. So yeah, you were saying Nicholas, not the gay one, but I was like, I figured, because it was like I figured it wasn't Cooper Koch, so I'm like, it had to have been Nicholas, but I just want to double check so I didn't make a mistake. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Jennifer, who apparently is in the studio working on music. And her first single is going to be Taco Taco Burrito Burrito. No, I'm joking. It's not Taco Taco, Burrito Burrito. So yeah, Jennifer is back in the studio. And we did talk about that, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, that she is looking to get back in the studio and make music, that there was somebody she wanted to make a song about her breakup with Ben. I guess one of those "you did me wrong" type of songs. Like, sis, we don't want one of those. Like, just get back into, the dance pop and all that other stuff. That is your wheelhouse. Like, you need to give us some of that was, the Get Right and the I'm Real, the On the Floors and all that other stuff. Even Hypnotico. I do like that song, even though that was a Tammy Chin track that you redid. But please, and Waiting for Tonight was originally a third party track. So, there's that, but it was like, and especially with because I saw this YouTube video. I can't remember who actually was the person that did it, because I go down these deep dives with YouTube. There was somebody that was on there that said something or another about how, like, an underrated gem record that she put out was Love ? And I have to say, you know what? I love that album. I feel like out of all the albums that she's put out, I mean, I like Rebirth. I like some of Jennifer's music, but for the most part, if there's a solid record that I listen to from beginning to end, because it has like that Euro dance pop type vibe, especially because she was working with Red One on that record, who produced Lady Gaga's earlier hits. I actually preferred her earlier stuff when she did Love ? I just liked that album because it just had like this international dance vibe. And that was like, she had a lot of huge hits off that record. So I don't know why she deviated from that and decided, oh yeah, I want to do ballads and things. I'm like, sis, you are not Adele. You are not Celine Dion. Who, shout out to Adele, who was out there giving her, accolades to Celine, because Celine went to an Adele show, and how she was showing love to her. And it's like, yes, two divas in a room just showing love to each other. But anyway, let's get into this story. So they said that less than a year after the disaster that was This Is Me Now, it looks like Jennifer Lopez is picking up the pieces and heading back into the studio. So the 55-year-old, who enjoyed a dinner date with her 16-year-old twins Emmy and Max last week, and then she was also spotted with Stevie Mackey, who is her vocal coach. She's been hanging out a lot with him, so he probably getting that thoke together, so that way she can get up in that studio and start doing a little yang yang to a dance beat, hopefully, and not another ballad. Nobody wanted to hear the ones you had on This Is Me Now, so I hope it is going the other way. But anyway, so the Bronx Bridge superstar wore a warm tone matte makeup underneath a pair of slightly tinted aviators. Her honey blonde locks were parted down the middle and fell over her chest in a softly tousled texture. And the JLo Beauty founder toted a black Hermes handbag with gold hardware. I was trying to read it like I was doing Like I had one of those, like y'all listen to me on a Kindle or Audible. So that's the outfit that they were basically describing. She looks good. The body is snatched, but when it comes to Hannaford, the body's always going to be snatched. But she was giving glam going to the thing. And she's so snatched, she was like, I don't even need a belt. My ass gonna hold these pants up. Now, Lopez reportedly is ready to make new music in the wake of her breakup with Affleck, who's 52. Now, earlier this month, a source told Page Six that the mother actress and her team have reached out to songwriters in search of a big dance hit. The insider said her priority career-wise is music. There is no point of her going into it unless it's big, and critics say it's the old Lopez. She needs a big banger. Well, girl, that should have been your mindset whenever you make music. I need that hit song. I need to work I don't feel like as an artist you need to be like, well, who's the current crop of producers that I need to be working with? Everybody should kind of just do their own thing and be individual. And it's like whatever you feel in your heart, go ahead and do it. But I'm not saying that you need to be trying to pander to the Chaperones and the Sabrina Carpenter types. But she should have been putting as much energy and effort into her music career as she was into her acting. And I've always felt that Hannaford always kind of treated music like it was an afterthought. And so, who is the fan base that have grown up with you? I feel like she does have a solid fan base, but she hasn't expanded the fan base. You know how some people have the generational fan bases. Like when you look at Madonna, she has her generational fan base. When you look at Beyonce, it's generation upon generation where people, who grew up with Beyonce, now they have children. So now their kids listen to Beyonce and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's a specific group of people that listen to her, but when you look at Jennifer Lopez, like when we look at, so maybe I won't talk about the generation. Let's talk about the gays. So when we look at divas, when we look at our let's get into the stereotypical gay bag. When we look at our divas, Jennifer Lopez isn't even in the top 5. Like when we talk about divas, we'll mention Madonna, we'll mention Lady Gaga, we'll mention Beyonce, we'll mention, I don't even think Taylor Swift is a part of the thing. I think the little girls and like her and their mamas and all that other stuff. So we'll leave her over there. I'm sure there's a couple of homosexuals that like Taylor, that like Tay-Tay, but for the most part, she's not a gay icon. I don't care how many drag queens she put on her video. So it's like, what? We got Madonna, we have Kylie Minogue, we have Beyonce, there's Britney, maybe a little Christina, and things, and Charlie XCX. You have some of those girls in there. So when we talk about our icons or legends or people that the gays stand for, I do not think that Jennifer Lopez is even in the top 5. I'm not saying that there's no gay men that don't like Jennifer Lopez and don't perform her songs when they're on stage, because I've been to many a club and I've seen many a drag queens perform Jennifer Lopez songs. So that's not what I'm saying, but I'm talking about in regards of automatic diva icon, like the girls that the gays look up to. Even Mariah Carey is part, the gays live for her. But when we talk about Jennifer Lopez has never really reached out to the gays. Yeah, she's performed at a Pride event or two, but she's never really reached out to us to be like, to be that sense of loyalty that we automatically be like, yeah, we're going to support her regardless of what she does, because she ain't put in the work to secure the gay vote. Now I'm still getting political. Let's get political. Let it go. I want to get political. Let's get political. So they basically said, what else? So that was just my little rant. Now let's get back to the story. Because, I always have to say things in the moment. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. So they basically said that it was added that she wants to get hits and put out a new album following her dismally received project This Is Me Now. Then the outtake from her album accompanying Amazon documentary Greatest Love Story Never Told, released earlier this year, the performer forewarned that she may never release a full-length album again, saying, the truth is, I don't even know if I'll ever make another album after this, she said after the doc. The Henny from the Block singer added, don't tell Benny, as in Medina, her longtime manager, that's what I'm thinking. This might be my last album ever. But I think what may have changed her mind also is because the album flopped. Nobody cared about the documentary. Nobody cared about that movie musical. And then the arena tour was a disaster. So I feel like with that, she's trying to fix the situation in regards to the music and all that stuff. So she's trying to basically, you know, right the wrong, because she's got to get back in the good graces of the public. Because it's like, okay, I put out the new album, I give y'all a bunch of bangers, and now I could do a proper tour, and the marketing behind all that could be, you know, fixed. And I feel like that the fans will be like, oh, look, she's back, she's giving glam, she's giving fabulosity, she's dancing her ass off, she's giving us bop after bop after bop, and we are a forgiving bunch. Look at me being positive, talk about Hannah for today, because any other time, you know, she irritates my spirit with some of the things that be going on. But for the most part, I'm like, today, I'm like, yeah, if you go and you get in the studio, not one damn ballad on it, leave that to the, you know, the professionals. But if you go and you give us some of them Latin rhythm type songs, you really get up in there and you give us like those up-tempo tracks, those, you know, those pop bops, them dance songs and that sort of thing, and you really get up in there and you give it to the point where the gays and the drag queens are like, bitch, I need to perform this song today. Kind of like what some of them gays felt when they performed Lady Gaga's song, Disease. So I remember one of my friends was like, now I better, like, don't perform the song if y'all don't know the words. I have another friend, Corey Craig. Shout out to him. I know I promoted it yesterday. I'm going to promote it again. He did a remix, a mashup remix of Lady Gaga's Disease with 9 Inch Nails Closer. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because you could definitely hear the 9 Inch Nails industrial vibes in that song. Like, it's giving very that. And as an industrial music fan, I appreciated the song, even if it's not, you know, I don't know how the song is doing in the charts. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is about Hennifer. So I'm like, if she want to try and revive the career, she still has the ability to do it. She has a great body of work. If she comes to the conclusion, it's like, yeah, I don't have the most spectacular voice in the world, but I'm going to do what I can with what I got. And one of the people that I always admire, that appreciate, that put that out there is Madonna. She's like, you know what? I don't have the most spectacular voice in the world, but at least I have, you know, some talent, and I have something to say in regard, like I have substance with what I do. And even if I'm not the best singer, I know to put the right people that can help elevate my weaknesses and turn them into strengths. So I say all this to say, I'm actually, you know, I've seen that whenever I talk about Hennifer, there do be some people in the comments that be like, we don't care, we don't want it, whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. But you know me, I'm nosy. So if you put out some music, and it's a bop, even if I don't particularly care for you, and if I feel like you kind of falling off in a while, if you release a bop and I listen to it and I'm living, I'll support it, and I'll give you your 10s if you know it's worthy of a 10. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are you looking forward to hearing what possibly Jennifer Lopez is cooking up in the studio, and who are the songwriters that she's collaborating with, and who are the producers, and all that other good stuff when it comes to this upcoming new album? What's the vibe? What does it sound like? Like, what's going on? What's good, Miley? So let me know what you think in the comments on this story down below. Okay, so now we have, speaking of comments, are y'all trying to out Channing Tatum? He said, oh damn, they split up. Well, no shade, but I knew that was coming. I kind of sensed that was coming. And I want to see that movie. You know, I always refer to it as Pussy Island because that was the original title. So I definitely want to see that movie that they did together. But I'm like, him and Zoe Kravitz, they broke up, and then look, he just finalized his divorce with Jenna Dewan. Oh, y'all think Channing Tatum is gay? Well, look, here's the tea. I would definitely hit it when it comes to Channing. Channing is sexy to me. I always had a crush on him since Step Up and back in his modeling days. So Linnea, hey, how you doing? Said, my question has always been with such SA cases, is that where were all of these people beforehand? That is just too many people silent for me to trust it. Are so many that intimidated by power? Yeah, that is true. It's like, I do wonder that sometimes, like, why was everybody so fearful? Was it really that people were aware of how powerful and how dangerous Diddy was? Because I always sensed it. I always knew it. Because I always told y'all I refer to Diddy as the devil for eons. But there were some people that, you know, he had a lot of protection around him. So maybe there were things that he said to them. Who knows? But yeah, sometimes I always wonder, like, the level of truth to the situation. But we'll see if Mr. Busby is able to conjure something out of this situation. Okay, so Robert says, is she gonna drag Ben and do what Madonna did on MDNA and make fun of Ben action films and want him unalive like Madonna did for Guy Ritchie on Bang Bang? But we'll see if she has the ability to come up and be that creative, but I doubt it. No, just come out chanting. That's what Robert said. And then Onyx says, idea. There was a short list made about people's sexiest man alive, and I thought it would be cool to look at it, but tomorrow's schedule seems to be full. Wait, there's a short list? Oh, well, where's that list? I'm gonna need y'all to start sending me stuff, like, so that way I can look at it. Because I can look at the short list, and if I'm not able to make it work for tomorrow, because Thursday I'm definitely doing the Duran Duran concert on Halloween. So Friday I may be able to do a show. I'll just save it for then. And then Cleveland says, Robert, right? And then Robert says, you can do a sexy heterosexual novel, but that Barry White or James Earl Jones, with that Barry White or James Earl Jones voice. I always thought about if I wanted to do like reading books and all that. Well, first of all, when I was a kid, and this is when I used to get in trouble in school and I get suspended. My mother used to work for the Board of Education. So what happened was whenever I was bad in school and I was suspended, I would just spend a week at the school that my mother worked at. And what would happen was I would just sit in the class with the teachers and I would read books to the kids. Little fun fact. And he used to love it. I used to hold a book up like this and have the finger, like in between my fingers with a folder like this. And I would literally just be on the side reading the book and the kids be having fun and fascinated. Those were the days. But these days, I was like, Chuck, could you imagine if I was that young and I was dressed in drag and I did it? The people would lose their shit. You said, Robert says, even Adam Lambert disagreed with the ice skater saying we like her, but has she done Pride? Or absolutely. And that's why because I remember that. I remember I shared that clip somewhere. Oh, I commented on it on Instagram. And so many people liked that comment. And I was like, Adam will be correct. Because Andy Cohen was asking the question of, do gays give a damn about her tour? And then I forget who it was that was on that panel. I was like, yeah. And then Adam's face was like, no, not really. We don't give a damn. Because whenever it comes to Jennifer Lopez, like if I was working the show and I was actually hoping that I was going to work it and I was going to tell y'all about it, but they canceled the concert before it was, before they went, months beforehand. So I was going to be like, I was going to tell y'all the tea, but I was sitting there like, yeah, I don't think people were relatively that excited. Like, what exactly is Jennifer Lopez going to bring? Especially because she spent so many years not really putting out music. Or when she would put out music, she really wasn't touring. Like, she didn't really put in the work like all the other musicians do when it comes to promoting the music. She relied, I guess, too much on physical media. And she was getting that money from making movies and stuff. So, yes, I agree with Lanier. Cher is definitely a gay icon. I probably forgot to even bring her name up. But yeah, Cher is definitely a gay icon. Robert said, this is me now, peaked at 38, Tension 2 peaked at 98. But tell me which album made more noise and the chart position is actually expected. But BMG fucked up knowing that there's no US store for our Aussie disco queen and failed to ship it out in time. And Michael is right. There wasn't 5 months to build up pre-orders and just for us to do digital or streaming. The 98 is expected for an artist. Yeah, when you make it hard for people to be able to get stuff, yeah, it's going to flop. And that's why I got irritated, because another thing that happened, the extended version of Tension 2, I wanted to buy it. So I went and I clicked on the link. I wanted to buy it. They say it's not available in your country. So when you make it hard for people to get stuff, Yeah, it's not going to do well, y'all. And this is the problem I've had with Americans who import European artists over here. You don't know how to market them. At the end of the day, Kylie Minogue is an Australian, English-speaking pop act. You market her the same way you would mark any other pop star. Well, like, what is wrong with y'all? It's like, literally, do I need to get up in it and do your job for y'all? So, Robert O said, oh, you said expected for an artist at 56 and need to do gay podcasts, but hey, the tour is doing good and I'm getting tickets in a couple of weeks. Well, that's the one thing is that I like the idea of the fact that at the end of the day, regardless of where the album charts, people are getting tickets to see this tour because they've seen the Kylie Minogue concerts. I don't know if you've seen it on DVD, but now her concerts are all over YouTube. You can literally go on YouTube and look up the Fever tour, the Aphrodite tour, all those tours, and I've watched them many a times. I even own them on, physical copies. I'm wondering if the Showgirls DVD has been put up on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, on YouTube. I'm sure that's up there too. So people can go back and watch a lot of her old stuff and get ready for the concert. And they see the type of shows that Kylie puts on overseas that Americans really didn't get a taste of, or they probably know people, particularly the homosexuals that was at her show over a decade ago, like myself. I went twice, seen her twice, I should say. And those of us who tell the stories about, the show that she did when she came to New York, to thank the American fans who supported her music while she's overseas doing what she's doing over there. So, I feel like maybe a lot of those people are like, yeah, based off those stories that I've been told, I definitely this is probably going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm going to get a ticket. So Onyx said, I didn't like the song Disease. I just thought it was pandering to the little monsters who wanted her to go back. Quiet as that's kept. That is kind of like what it felt like to me. I think I like the song because it took me, I feel like I'm of two minds of it. I'm agreeing with you, and then, So I like the song because it is going back to the time of the earlier days of her music. And it does feel like, okay, I'm just going to give the little monsters what they want because, I've consistently been changing up the music and doing different things, and the music is not doing what needs to be done. But she could sell out stadiums, she could sell out all these other places, and her concerts still sell, but she's trying to get back on the charts. And I feel like Lady Gaga is not on the pop radar like she once was. It's because, in my opinion, I feel like she's run away from the thing that made her famous. Now she wants to be taken seriously. I'm a serious artist. I'm a serious this. I'm like, at the end of the day, if I know who the fuck I am, I don't give a damn what these naysayers or these other people out here think. That's just probably you coming from a place of insecurity where you haven't come to terms with being like, I don't give a damn what them people saying over there. I'm gonna march to the beat of my own drum. I'm gonna do whatever that I need to do and keep it moving. But she has to come to terms with that. So it does, in so many ways, Disease does feel like, oh yeah, she's going back to the, the old Mother Monster, Born This Way, Fame Monster era. So I definitely get that. So you said that it's a huge hit. The video is premiering tonight, but Gaga, as we discussed, abandoned her fans too early, switching to jazz and adult contemporary. That is true. And it's like, first of all, you're 38, 39. She's in her late 30s. We'll just say that. You're a little too young to be trying to automatically go and pander to them old people with the adult contemporary. Or maybe she an old soul. Or maybe she wanted that, maybe all this stemmed from because the Madonna comparisons. Oh, you just basically copying off of Madonna and all that other stuff, that she had to find a way to differentiate herself from the Madonna comparisons. But sis, your career is still modeling Madonna's legacy. Madonna already did the Harley Quinn style album with I'm Breathless. So it's literally, you're still following her blueprint. Anything you do outside of whatever, it's Madonna's been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. Yeah, maybe the one thing you did do that she didn't do was work with Tony Bennett. But other than that, the model is similar. And everybody else is following her blueprint. Why be upset about it? Onyx said, oh yeah, and the fans was mad because she didn't premiere the video at the same time. So as the song, Anna says the problem with her jazz records is that it's so traditional and doesn't add the personality we know Gaga to have to those records. She just wants to sound like she's straight. Yeah, it's like like you said, pandering, or maybe you're doing jazz music, like she's doing Etta James cosplay. That maybe that's probably what it feels like that she's doing. It's like, okay, if you do a jazz record, you need to bring us something different to it versus, oh, I need to try to sound like all these other artists. So now I want to just sound like everybody else instead of bringing my interpretation of what I want jazz music to sound like to the situation. And I think that's a problem with a lot of artists, is the fact that some of them, that the true ones will come out and just, I want to do a jazz record, but I'm gonna put my own little stank on it. I don't want to do exactly what's been done. Like, to me, it's just a waste of time. So, it was feeling a little jazzy there. Okay, so ain't no thing if you ain't got that swing. So you said, Onyx also said Gaga and even Doja Cat aren't true weirdos at heart. They continue to act until they want to be in a room with professionals. Nicki also stopped wearing the colorful wigs and outfits when she wanted to be taken seriously. Did I hear something or another that Nicki out here supporting Trump? I saw a clip that Luna sent me, but I don't know. It was like cut quick. So I don't know if she really out here supporting Trump or she was trolling. But girl, if you don't want to end your career to end up like Vinny Guadagnino's is about to be for supporting him, and all these other morons, girl, you better tread lightly with that. And it kind of made me wonder if she is a true Trump supporter, will the Barbs continue to support her? So, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the weirdo cosplay. And that was the irritation for me. I remember when I was in school, and yeah, I did float amongst the groups. But for the most part, I was like, I embraced the weird. I love being different and just, dyeing my hair and wearing like the big Jinko belt, those big giant jeans that I'm seeing. A lot of the looks that I wore as a kid coming up in the 90s are making a comeback. I said I wore them clothes when I was in middle school and high school. So seeing all the clothes coming back with like the little tight t-shirts that showed a little bit of your stomach, and then you would wear like the big bell-bottom jeans. I wore those. I'm waiting for wallet chains to make a comeback. But I'm like, give it time, because I guarantee you we're gonna start seeing wallet chains making a comeback. Now, speaking of which, let's get into Madonna, who has reason to celebrate because apparently her Miami concert, that whole situation about her being tardy to her own concert in Miami back in April, well, because it was 90 minutes. She was 90 minutes late. Now, y'all have permission to beat my ass if I ever show up. But anyway, I'm joking. Apparently what they're saying is that, the case got thrown out. So she got a win in regards of that situation. So Judge Jorge Perez Santiago of Miami-Dade County Court said at a hearing last week that the concert's 8:30 p.m. start time was subject to change and that an opening act performed as planned before Madonna's appearance. Well, yeah, that was the DJs. And it did say that on the ticket. The concert goer alleged opens new tab Madonna and the arena Kaseya Center violated Florida's law against deceptive and unfair business practices by starting the concert late and for knowingly allowing the venue to be overheated. Because she don't like air conditioner. I don't know how y'all didn't know that. I knew that she don't like air on since the confession store. It was hot. It's hot as hell in that damn arena. The Garden. That's where actually I went to go see it. And I went to go see it again at the Garden with the celebration tour. That's the only place I go. I do not do Barclays. So Perez Santiago said that there were no issues for a jury to resolve and dismiss the case. The jury said that the dispute over heat boiled down to a subjective feeling. If it was too hot for you, it's too cold for somebody else. This is what Perez Santiago said at the October 24th hearing, according to a transcript. Now, Marcus Corwin, an attorney for the concert goer, told Reuters on Monday that he planned to appeal the dismissal ruling. Say, my job to help consumers get what they feel they bargained for, Corwin said in an interview. Now, lawyers for Madonna and the arena, home to the Miami Heat professional basketball team, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Now, it also states that, I was like, don't mess with me now with these pictures. Now, also stated that they said that he has 2 other similar pending lawsuits against Madonna before different judges in the same court. Well, damn, you must got a lot of time to be trying to sue Madonna. He's trying to get a payday out of this. That's why probably you risking all this coin. Because when you lose, I believe you have to pay these attorney fees. So it said that, he said a judge in one of the cases had rejected Madonna's early defense arguments. Now, Cohen, who is based in Florida, is also pursuing a separate class action over a late Madonna concert start in federal court in Washington, D.C. in June. He voluntarily withdrew a lawsuit in New York that accused Madonna of starting concerts 2 hours late. Now, Madonna has denied the claims of all the cases. They also said that the lawsuit in Miami-Dade County Court sought damages of under $8,000 for different nights of Madonna celebration tour in Miami. Coleman said the October 24th hearing accused Madonna of habitual lateness. I mean, this is not one night. They do this all the time, he said. Madonna's lawyer, Austin Flickstein, countered the plaintiff got what he paid for. Say it is not unreasonable for a headlining act to have someone come up and warm up the crowd. This is what he told the court. Reasonable consumers know this. I don't think the argument is necessarily the fact that they have a headlining act. Like, did he actually think that it was going to be 8:30 on the dot? Now, here's the thing. When I work many a venue and, many a shows, there's some people that show up on time. There's some people that come on a couple of minutes late. Then there's people that come on like Madonna, and I'm not even going to hold you, Nicki Minaj. She showed up late when I worked her show, and some of her fans was getting restless. And her show, actually, when I worked her Pink Friday 2 tour, it ended literally around the same time Madonna did when I went to her show, which was like 10 after midnight. And I'm sure they had to pay a penalty. And I guess Madonna don't mind paying them penalties. Because it's like, yeah, when you go over a certain time because you're renting the venue, you do pay a penalty when you go over the contracted time that you have. And I understand that Madonna has a lot of technical bells and whistles that goes into her show, but this is why y'all need to make sure all this is done before you come out and perform. Like, to me, on one hand, I get it, that the fact that it's disrespectful to have people, like the audacity for me to have to sit and wait 90 minutes for you to get out and perform. I get that. However, for those of us who pay attention and know Madonna, because she's been doing, it ain't just this, celebration tour that she started doing it. She's been doing this for years, decades. So I'm sure that a lot of people who have gone to her concerts, and I want to know if this man has ever actually, is this his first concert? You may have reason to be upset, but if you've been to a Madonna concert knowing full on well what you're going to get when you go to this thing, most people with common sense and the wherewithal know you plan accordingly. You may have to take a day off or whatever. I understand there are people that cannot afford to take a day off from work, that can't do all these other things. Well, I don't know what to tell you, because even if you get out of work late, well, some people, they'll watch most of the concert, and I've seen people who leave because they're like, well, if I don't leave, then, and the good thing is you can go right downstairs on 8th Avenue, BNC Tower to be specific. You can go downstairs, and Penn Station is right there, and you can catch your train wherever, because I understand sometimes, especially in New York, when you get on the Long Island Railroad, they have you, if you don't get on them specific trains at a specific time, you got to wait a long time for the train to start. And I believe in New Jersey Transit, the train shut down at midnight. So after that, you may have to wait till 5 a.m. or something or another. I believe that's the time for New Jersey. I said, Chad, you out your damn mind if you thinking I'm going to be waiting that damn long for a train or whatever, because I'm getting out of work late. So sometimes, yeah, it does pull you over into some extra. Those aren't the only ones. Sometimes the boxing matches and things of that nature, those go over late too. Which is why I think a lot of times when I'm working, a lot of people don't want to work those shits because they know it always says it'll be over at 11 o'clock. It's not. Sometimes the thing don't go over. It goes over to 1 a.m. I mean, you make good money out of it because of the overtime, but for the most part, I understand. A lot of people don't want to work those, especially if you live in Jersey or if you live somewhere else where the the subways take long periods of time. And I know that's annoying because trust and believe, I get irritated by it too. The long waits with the trains. And Uber and Lyft know this, which is why they do the price gouging. So, we'll see what happens if, he's repealing, and we'll see if he has a chance of getting some coin tatas out of Madonna. But I highly doubt it. But good luck, sir. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are on this story in regards of Madonna and her tardiness, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's go over to the comments corner, because I know we got some. So Felix says she came out at 11:15. Not 11:15. When I went to the MDNA tour and 11:30 for Madam X. Why is she going on that damn late? I understand you a club girl, but sis, that is way late to be in an arena. I would be irritated if I was a worker. But then on the other hand, easy money. I mean, you get the money in the overtime. Robert said it was advertised all over Facebook, and yeah, he's using this for clout. Felix said the AC not being on was a lot more intense during Madam X. It got so bad, someone turned on the AC a few songs in because a few people almost passed out. And if she get mad, it's like, so you want your fans to die? Like, do you care about these people? All I want to really say is they don't really care about us. It's like, we're going to have to play that song for Madonna. You got to start giving a damn about your fans. You said during the show, I was at the first Miami show, she got pissed off and said she demanded respect. Well, girl, we get your respect. I don't know, maybe you got menopause, you going through something, but you need to respect your fans as well. If it's hot in there, these people need the air. And I guess maybe what she's trying to say is go drink some water. Roro says, I heard people who have worked with Madonna say that she's not really doing anything backstage other than making people. I believe it. She's probably being a bitch and making people. And I love you, girl. But if you're doing that to be a diva, then okay, you can make people wait. But you keep doing that, you're going to lose fans. Or maybe, at the end of the day, people have their undying loyalty. You know that there's, everybody's got their radicals. Everybody's got the people who are just, walk over coals to them regardless of what they do. So, if she's probably doing that intentionally, I'm like, okay, sis, that's your money. That's coming out of your pocket. You the ones that got to pay them hefty ass penalties every night because you want to come out late. To me, I'm just like the latest I would come out would be like 8:30. If I'm doing a show, 8 o'clock, 8:30. But anyway, because I just don't like making people late. I mean, I don't like making people wait, and I don't like being late. Robert says, I remember Madonna doesn't start sound checks until close to 6:30 p.m. I want to know the X-rated one that would get tossed out. It's Madonna, and it's in her First Amendment rights to express herself. We talking about the one where she was doing the picture that I had up with the 90. Some people saying that it was sexually explicit dance, and I was traumatized because I saw titties. I'm like, you do know your mama has them too, sir. And I'm sure she breastfed your ass when you was growing up. So for that excuse to come out, I was like, sit down. Felix says, well, yeah, if you've seen videos of her backstage, she just walks around and talks to people like her celebrity guests and her friends. Robert Price said, MDNA was being filmed and from New York, understanding the film crew was having difficulties. And that's another thing, too. There's a lot of technical stuff they're trying to get under control when it comes to that. So Robert says Miami doesn't get cold, and she's expecting us to take off our clothes. I mean, she's not ashamed of her body, but others are. And Felix said she lost some fans in the last 10 years. I mean, I'm not surprised. But this is like, Madonna, you are an icon. You are the moment. I was thinking of Wendy Williams. You're the icon. You're in the moment. But you got to do better by the people. These people are spending a lot of money, and your shows ain't cheap. So you need to do right by. Until you do right by your fans, everything you think about is going crumble. You want to get some more lawsuits. Shout out to Miss Seeley. But anyway, let's move on. I was like, oh, I hope I didn't close nothing. I was about to panic. Let's move on. Let's talk about Mel B, aka Sporty Spice, who's throwing shade at the Spice Girls. She's calling them dickheads because they don't want to do the 30th anniversary reunion, which would be in 2025. And I totally forgot that the Spice Girls debut album, Spice, came out in 1995. You know, I try not to think of these numbers. I try so hard not to think of these numbers. Oh, this album came out 25 years ago. Look, we had the thing when we were just talking about Madonna's bedtime stories just turned 30. I finally edited that video today. I'm going to upload it to all the platforms and stuff later on tonight, as soon as I'm done with the show. But yeah, that album turned 30. And I'm like, damn. Because it just reminds you of how old you are. Oh yeah, I meant Scary Spice. I said Sporty Spice. Yeah, Mel C. You know, I'm getting my Melanies, Melanie Brown and Melanie Chisholm. I'm getting my Melanies confused. So anyway, the 49-year-old pop star who shot to fame alongside Jerry Halliwell, Melanie Chisholm, Emma Bunton, and Victoria Beckham in the late 90s as part of the world's best-selling girl group, but recently claimed she had been kicked out of a WhatsApp group after pushing for another tour. Damn, they tired of her. They like, sis, stop asking about this damn tour. But now they're like, we don't even want you in the WhatsApp group no more. I should be laughing at that. But you want to know something too that I realized? I gotta give a shout out to Emma Bunton, because her albums Life in Mono and Free Me actually became available on Apple Music. And I remember I put that Free Me album on the other day. And I was like, I forgot how fabulous and lush this album is. Emma was putting out that, it was kind of, it had like this little girl group type of vibe or whatever the case was. So yeah, that album had some bops. I don't think it did all that well in the United States, but I did like that outside of the Spice Girls, some of the girls did put out music and it did relatively well for what they were. We already know the mess that was Victoria Beckham's solo project. Mel B was trying to put out some stuff. It worked a little bit. Remember when she did that song with Timbaland and Missy Elliott? I would not be surprised if Missy Elliott was eating that box during the time they was working together, putting that music. And she came out dressed up looking like a tiger with the makeup and the green lighting and looking all crazy. And it was a cute little video. And so she went up doing little things here and there. But to me, it seemed like the most successful solo act to come out of the Spice Girls is Melanie C. And I think it's because a lot of the music that she was doing, I was actually liking. She did the pop rock, Pink-esque type music. She was also getting in her dance music bag, which she's currently been doing lately. And I actually like that she's getting more into the dance music era, because when she came out with Northern Star, and yeah, she was working with William Orbit, and she was working with a bunch of other people. And then she had the Hex Hector remix of I Turn to You, Bitch. I lost my mind back in the day when that song came out. Still live for it to this day. And that song never gets old. But anyway, let's get back to Melanie. The other Melanie. Now, speaking in an upcoming episode of the Sky Max show, Nevermind the Buzzcocks. Now, that's funny, because I'm thinking of Nevermind the Bullocks. Y'all know that album. Which will air Wednesday. When asked why she had been expelled from the group, she explained, because I'm Northern and they say what I think and feel, and I'm constantly saying to the girls, we need to go back on tour because they're dickheads. Like, girl, that's how you talk. But I guess when you're a Northerner from, a Northern British girl, they don't have a filter. Like, they're very much direct and to the point with some of the things that they say. So now the Spice Girls were formed, as you know, through an open audition in '94 and were initially known as Touch before going through a couple of lineup changes, choosing a different name and breaking away from their original management. They achieved a record-breaking run of 6 consecutive #1 singles and 2 #1 albums before the shock exit of Halliwell in 1998. They released their last record in 2000 but got back together in 2007 for a world tour. Now, in 2012, all 5 members performed a medley of hits at the closing ceremony of the London Olympics and were briefly seen together again at the opening of their short-lived West End musical Viva Forever, but Beckham opted not to return for the group's last run of stadium shows in 2019. Now, earlier this year, the girls got back together at Beckham's 50th birthday party, where they performed a rendition of their 1998 hit Stop. Stop right now. Thank you very much. Hey, you. When we get in trouble for singing that whole song where it's like, oh, you got to pay the people. But anyway, so they said, but the fashion designer explained around the same time that she would not want to reunite with the bandmates for anything other than a social occasion. Now, she told Radio France, I'm really proud of what I did with the Spice Girls, but today I want to help people assert themselves through fashion, for example, and beauty. So there were rumors. People said that they would be tours or concerts, but that won't happen. We're going to celebrate differently with the girls together. So it seems like to me that Mel B is the only one that wants to go out on tour and do the music because she misses the roar of the crowd. She liked getting out there and touring and doing other stuff. And to be honest, it's like she was not able to fabricate or forge a solo career outside of the girls. The only one who could go off and do solo stuff and don't necessarily need the group is Mel C. Sporty. She has a career of her own. And she can come to New York. I mean, I think she can come to the United States and do a small venues and stuff. And, you know, like kind of like Sophie Ellis Bextor and so many others that came from the UK over to, and Steps, how they all came over here and they put together a little something and they were able to do what they, you know, and people came out and saw the shows or whatever the case was. I do feel like Mel C can come out and do a show. And who else did that? Did one? Jessie Ware. She another one that put on a phenomenal show when she came out here. So I could definitely see her doing that. But Mel B never really forged a solo career where she can go out there and do whatever. She's more or less a reality competition judge and being more of a personality than people know her for the Spice Girls, except for those of us who grew up listening to the Spice Girls. So I definitely see why she's frustrated. But Victoria Beckham's off doing her posh fashion thing because, you know, she took that whole posh thing and parlayed it into a fashion career. Baby Spice don't seem like she interested. You could forget asking Jerry Hollowell because her and Mel always butt damn heads. So at this point, while personally and selfishly speaking, I would like a Spice Girls reunion because it's the 30th anniversary is coming up next year. So it would be great for them to kind of get together and do a thing to do something, a 30th anniversary tour, because definitely the fans will come out and they'll support it. They'll spend the money. They'll go and see them. It would, but I wonder, it would have to be a stadium tour, right? Because I do feel like the Spice Girls, you know, you have the girls that grew up with them. The gays, of course, are going to come. And I'm sure that the parents probably passed that music down to their kids. Maybe kids would come out and see them. I don't know. I don't know necessarily who the demographic is for the Spice Girls these days. I'm just thinking like old school girls and gays. And then maybe there's some younger gays who like the Spice Girls stuff based off of, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race or whatever. So it would be cool to see that go down, but I don't know. So we'll have to see if this actually does happen, but I doubt it. And it's unfortunate because I do feel like with the 30th anniversary, that would, you know, since Victoria said, or Vicky B, because we good Judies. I call her Vicky B. You know I'm joking. But I can just basically say, like, she said she only want to get together with the girls for a special occasion. There's your special occasion, the 30th anniversary. Y'all can do a small little tour, kind of like Girls Aloud did. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Would y'all be here for a Spice Girls 30th anniversary reunion with all 5 ladies? I just need y'all to be able to, if it does happen, I need y'all to just figure out a way to last long so that way it can happen. Because I do be feeling like I need Mel B to not get into it with the other ladies, specifically Jerry, because y'all always button heads. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now we got comments. Robert says it's not just the live times. It's also the album she put out. Confessions is where the last great was the last. I think you're saying that Confessions was the last great M record. I do agree that I feel like Confessions was the last great Madonna record. Like it was just right place, right time. The album is great from start to finish. The tour was everything. The promotional rollout was phenomenal. And I feel like she's got to go back to that. I feel like she needs to find a way to go back to that, not that era per se. Like, I don't need her to put out, look, I get my dance fix from Kylie Minogue because I feel like she understands. She understood the assignment. Madonna wants to continue to go off and do all these different genres. And you can bend genres and do whatever. But at this point, girl, you've done everything you need to do. Now just, get back into the dance music. So I'm really hoping that that's what her and Stuart Price are currently doing. So Robert said, Jagged Little Pill, child, look, don't even remind me. Now, why is Jagged Little Pill turning 30? I remember buying that album and wearing that damn album out. I think I had it on cassette. No, I had it on CD. I had it on CD player. You know what I'm starting to think too? Are we almost upon the 30th anniversary of Antichrist Superstar? Because I think that album came around that same time too. Little Marilyn Manson tea. So you said, so Robert said, Free Me outsold her debut album, the only time a Spice Girl outsold their own album. That was a good record. Felix said, I Turn to You was still a club anthem. It damn show is. Robert said, Impossible Princess, Ray of Light, and Northern Star is the best of trip hop and British pop. Absolutely. And so Robert says, Emma is a radio DJ. Mel C does DJ shows and is working on her 9th studio. Oh, you said Mel C does DJ shows and is working on her 9th studio album. Even Mel C says she has more music than that's a fact. And that's why I said she don't need the Spice Girls. I feel like she's doing the Spice Girls as a favor. I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just give you, I'm just a little charity for me. I'm just giving y'all a little something. But I do agree with what you said. You said Mel B needs the money, and that seems like that's the only reason why. The other girls have found other things to do outside of the Spice Girls. I don't know what Jerry Horn is doing, probably trying to keep her man from cheating. But as far as everybody else, like you said, Emma's a radio DJ. Mel C is doing DJ gigs and is working on her music. Mel C is basically, she has a lot of music. And yeah, that is true. She has a huge body of work. So she can get out here and perform her songs. And but Mel B is the one who needs the money more than anything. She's repurposing her memoir, but adding new stuff up in there. Trying to get child support out of Eddie Murphy. Dealing with that no good ex-husband of hers, Stephen Belafonte. And then judging reality shows. So she do need the money. Robert also said, I would love them to reunite, but Mel B had to let it come naturally and not force it, even if it misses the 30th anniversary. Just let nature take its course. But being with her, she's impatient, apparently. Yeah, Roro. I definitely remember when hidden tracks was a thing. I used to love hidden tracks on an album. And how I would just doze off and something, all of a sudden this song pop. I'm like, what the hell? It was a song of Madonna's that I loved. I think it was a hidden track on Ray of Light. Has to be. Was that a hidden track? Or was that on one of the, was that an imported single? I definitely love that song. I was like, that was like some old lush electronic music. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm being levitated when I heard that song. But anyway, okay, so how many more topics do we have before we're done with the show? Okay, so we have 5 more topics. I think we're about to get into some gay news. Well, after we do the Liam Payne story, we're going to get into a lot of the gay news. So yeah, we have about 5 more topics to go. Before we get to said topics, if you have not already, can you please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, please smash that notification button so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please and thank you to help with these good old algorithms. So let's get into our next topic about Liam Payne. Now, yesterday we did talk a bit about the Building the Band competition series that he apparently recorded back in August, they said, for Netflix. It was him, Kelly Rowland, and Nicole Scherzinger are the mentors, and then sitting as the host is AJ McLean. I also gave some ideas on okay, since now Liam Payne is no longer with us and they decided to go into a second season, who would be a good choice to come in and be the possible new judge to sit alongside Kelly and Nicole? I was thinking of either Lance Bass or JC Chazé, especially since JC is currently working on his sophomore album after 20 years of Schizophrenic. And I'm sitting there like, sir, what the hell took you so long? Because I always love me some JC Chazé. And that is, in my opinion, an underrated gem of an album. A lot of people slept on that record. But anyway, so they basically was talking about how he's unfit for Netflix is building a band, and was saying that basically that he was in the best state at the time when when he was working on. I was like, why can't I pull up? This is annoying me again. So now I was like, we were in a. Ooh. Oh, I think I might have figured something out. But anyway, so let me see. I'm gonna pull it up. The photo is what I was trying to pull up, but I had like an itch in my forehead. I forgot to tell y'all everything. Okay, so it said Liam Payne, as you know, according to page 6, they basically were saying that. So Liam Payne said he OD'd and had to be resuscitated at least once while in the grip of drug addiction. This is what multiple sources tell page 6. The tragic One Direction star who fell to his death off a hotel balcony in Argentina on October 16th while apparently under the influence of drugs, because they said that he also fainted before he fell over. Said that he had OD'd a few years ago, a close source revealed. Another senior music insider said they had been told Payne had OD'd at least twice in the past. A close source who had known the singer since his days in the chart-topping British group told how Payne's friends and former colleagues were so shocked when his manager signed him up for the Netflix show, building the band alongside Nicole Scherzinger and Kelly Rowland, as he was just out of rehab. His manager pushed him to do the show, and there were a lot of worried texts exchanged between us. This is what the source said, saying we were shocked. There was no way he was in any shape to do this. Well, now y'all gonna have me dissecting when I watch the damn show. Y'all gonna really have me up in there just like watch it real close as to like, so is he in the best condition to be doing this sort of thing? So, or like if I could tell if he nodding off a little bit or whatever the case was, like, you know, any kind of edits that they would have. So I don't know. So now with y'all putting this out there, y'all gonna really have me analyzing hard watching the show whenever it decides to air. So they basically said that Liam had in the last few months become very isolated by a new group of people away from those who cared for him and who've been trying to help him for a long time. Now, as page 6 revealed, Payne, who was just 31 at the time of his death, was being looked after by a new manager who had inserted himself into his life and wanted him to go back on tour. And that's the worst. When you have somebody who's new that infiltrates your inner circle and does not know the triggers of the client or how to handle certain situations, then they're going to push you to do, because they feel like their job is, oh, I'm the manager, so I got to get you back out on the road. I got to get you back to work. But it's like, so it didn't dawn on you in your brain to like give him at least a couple of weeks to get his bearings. I don't know how long it should take for someone to take time off out of rehab before they're ready to get back to work. I guess whenever they say that they're ready. But by the time they say I'm ready to go, after me getting out of rehab, you should have a bunch of things lined up for your client to just get to getting, and not being like, less than 48 hours, I'm out of rehab, and then you sit up here going, well, I got this gig for you, and it's good money. So they also said that in the months before his tragic death, Payne had moved in with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, who was since revealed that they were planning to get married and talked about their future together. She had left Argentina just 2 days before his accident. Now, the source also added that Payne's life had sadly gone downhill after 1D went on hiatus back in 2015, and he had been dealing with drug addiction for several years. Saying he was heartbroken and never really recovered, the source added. He was lost without his brothers, referring to bandmates Niall Horan, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik. And I was wondering too, I was like, you know what, maybe they can replace him with Zayn, but some people would feel like that would be ultimately disrespectful, that, oh, you go from one direction or to another. So, Payne had filmed the Netflix show earlier this year and had continued texting with Scherzinger, currently starring on Broadway and getting rave reviews and standing ovations, with Sunset Boulevard. And I remember, I think Felix or somebody brought it up in the chat that, I think it was Felix, we basically said that Nicole did, when she was promoting Sunset Boulevard, that she said that her and Liam were texting and having conversations, and she said some nice things basically about him. So they probably had some sort of a connection, and she probably was looking at him as, even though they're close in age, well, not really. She's 15 years older than him, I believe. She's like 45 and he's 31. So with her experience in Hollywood and them having the connection of her being in a girl group, him being in a boy band, and the fact that they connected on that level and that they could speak on certain things, they probably had a much deeper connection in that sense. So they also said that the pair first met in 2010 when she was that was another thing. She was also an X Factor judge. Who formed One Direction. So there's a bit of a mothering mentorship type of vibe there. So them getting back together was like, look, he had it both ways. She was she helped form One Direction. He got to knock up Cheryl Cole, who was a judge on the X Factor. Now they said it's not yet known what will happen to the next Netflix show footage. So I'm really hoping that the show does happen. I definitely would like to see this show and see what happens with it, and Liam get the proper respect and all this other stuff that he deserves, because I feel like, you know what, all the tragedy aside, I love the concept of like a boy band putting a group together and people who actually were in the trenches are behind this, as I said yesterday, rather than a Simon Cowell Svengali type who ain't never sang, never danced, don't know what it's like to be under the pressure of being a pop star. That we have people who've been in the trenches that understand that world, that are coming in with a different sense of creativity and helping put this band and stuff together. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? It's sad to hear this tea regarding Liam. Hopefully, once they're done with all their autopsies and stuff, this boy could finally rest in peace and things of that nature. But yeah, I definitely want to hear your thoughts. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, I think I may have gotten the comments to work. Robert said was a B-side to Ray of Light in track 14 to the Japanese edition. I knew I have a savant here that would tell me all the stuff, because I was like, yeah. I remember I did have that song, but I think I got it on import, or I may have. I'm trying to remember, because I told you I lived in Virgin Megastore, so knowing me, I would buy the regular album, I'd buy the import because it got new songs on it, or I would buy an import if a song that I had heard was never released as part of a B-side on one of the singles. But I have a feeling that when they did do the maxi singles and stuff from Ray of Light, that has to did end up on it, and I think that's where I ended up getting it. I think it ended up on the maxi single for Ray of Light. And so Robert says Sam Punk. Yeah, earlier I mentioned him, but and that was before you came in. I refuse to acknowledge his name. That's the producer that was talking about he was going to come out with a song with Liam, and then after the backlash, he backpedaled and was like, "Oh no, I'm not releasing the song." So there's that. So yeah, the song is not coming out because we talked about that earlier. And then you said Mariah Carey's Christmas album is 30 years old. Also, to Feel Old History by Michael Jackson also turns 30 next year. As well as Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt, The Bridge by Ace of Base. And that means 2025 is 30 years of Max Martin. I'm sure longer, but for most people knowing Max Martin from Ace of Base and so many other people he's worked with. Yesterday was the 30th anniversary of Mariah's Merry Christmas album. Okay. Yeah, I did see somebody bring up Mariah Carey, but now we know. It's a AIWF. Wait, what is that? That's a long ass acronym. What album is that? I'm having a brain. What is AIWFCIY? And watch you spell it out for me, and I'm like, oh. That was Paul Rubens when he was playing the vampire. He was supposed to die in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Remember he was making all the noise? I'm like, would you just die already? I must have not put this on tight because I'm feeling water coming out. Oh, All I Want for Christmas Is You. I told her I was gonna have a brain fart. I'm like, hey, I know, I've seen them acronyms before, but I couldn't remember what it was. All right, now let's get into some gay news, and let's talk about Shawn Mendes, who apparently said he out here trying to figure out his sexuality. He don't know if he like Payne or Poon or both. So we'll see. Well, look, child, just whatever. We'll get into the thing, and I'll just give my overall opinion about it. So yeah. So now I find it funny that people out here. I don't remember who it was that said it. I think it was like either a YouTube video or it was a post that somebody posted on like one of the websites or whatever, and they were like, y'all need to leave Shawn Mendes alone. And I guess they were trying to say because people out here trying to make Shawn come out of the closet because he's attractive and we always want what we can't have. So we have Troye Sivan and we have Lil Nas X, we have all these gay boys that's coming out, and Keenan Lonsdale, we got all these gay boys that's come out and being out and proud and all this other stuff. But the one person that's sitting there saying he trying to figure out if he like Payne or Poon or both, y'all don't want to take the word. Y'all want to force him to do whatever he wants. I'm like, we not. Oh, I remember what it was. It was a conversation we was having in the Rebel Hearts group chat. I want people to figure out who they're going to figure out, but don't come up in here trying to constantly pander to the community. And then when we respond, y'all get mad talking about we trying to force people to do stuff. It's like, just figure it out in private. Stop bringing it up in your tours. But I'm trying to, before I even give my full opinion and get ahead of myself, let me fill y'all in on what had happened. So on Monday, October 28th, the Mercy singer, who was 26, spoke to fans in between songs as he performed his For Friends and Family tour date at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. Mendes was performing his upcoming song, The Mountain, during his recent concerts, a song that the singer weighing in on conversations about his sexuality in his lyrics. They said, some days I have a change of heart. You can say what you need to say, he sings in video footage shared on TikTok. You can say I'm too young. You can say I'm too old. You can say I like girls or boys, whatever fits your mold. Now, the Canadian musician elaborated on the conversation during his Colorado show, saying the following, saying, I remember told me when I was young. So they said, since I was really young, there's been this thing about my sexuality and people have been talking about it for so long, he told the crowd per a clip shared by a fan on TikTok. He said, I think it's kind of silly because I think sexuality is such a beautifully complex thing and it's so hard to just put in boxes. So I really feel like that's maybe what his song is trying to pinpoint. But when you sit up in here talking about, some days I have a change of heart, you can say what you need to say. And it's sort of like, yeah, he's trying to figure it out. Maybe he's bisexual. Maybe he's sexually fluid. And I know it's hard for people to believe that it's possible that, okay, a guy could be into guys and girls. I mean, he did date Camila Cabello. That's not saying much because I'm sure there's a lot of girls out here who once upon a time have dated a man who turned out to be a homosexual. Like, it happens. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, we all here for you figuring it out. And if you want to use your music to do that, then that's fine. But stop the baiting. Stop the queer baiting, because that gets on my damn nerves. What a lot of y'all be out here consistently pandering to our community because you know how loyal the gays are. And to be honest, Shawn Mendes, yeah, you're cute or whatever. You got model good looks. You're tall. You're in great shape. You're a good looking guy, but your music is boring. And this is no shade. If y'all like his music, that's fine. But to me, I find him boring. And he is not my judge. It's not the type of stuff that I listen to. But I applaud him for being out here doing what he does. Now, the thing with him also is it just seems like you got a new album coming out. You're trying to create buzz for the album because them singles didn't go nowhere that you were out here putting out. And the VMA performance came and went like a fart in the wind. Nobody was talking about it. So now this thing is making the rounds and I feel like he's playing it up in a lot of ways. And here's the thing. I'm all for people trying to figure out who they are and all this other stuff because sexuality is complex. Everything isn't just simple. But if he's somebody who wants to be just a simple artist, then go ahead and do that. But I do feel like, and maybe, the fact of him talking about, ever since he was really little, that people have been out here questioning his sexual orientation. Because that's what he said. He said, since I was really young, there's been this thing about my sexuality, and people have been talking about it for so long. Because he comes across as, he's soft-spoken, he's very sensitive. Some of his mannerisms are, "What are you doing?" So those are gay stereotypes. So it makes sense that, these would be comments that would, that people would be talking about with him. So he also said, it always felt like an intrusion on something very personal to me, something that I was figuring out in myself, something that I had yet to discover and still have yet to discover, the singer added, insisting he's speaking freely now so he could be closer to everyone. Now he continued by saying the following: the real truth about my life and my sexuality is that, man, I'm just figuring it out like everyone. I don't really know sometimes, and I know other times, and it feels really scary because we live in a society that has a lot to say about that. And I feel like maybe he is aware of what he likes. He's just afraid to say it. And I feel like that probably played a lot into his anxiety and stuff, because people constantly was making fun of him. People was making little comments, and it's like, he's sensitive. And there's nothing wrong with being a sensitive person. Not everybody has thick skin and is cynical and want to be out here ready to fight the world. And I do feel like we should allow him the space and the grace to figure himself out sexually, or like what he's into. If he likes boys, well, I can't wait to see him. Child, let me say it. I'm looking forward to, like, if it ever happens, I would love to see a sex tape between him and Benson Boone. Maybe you could throw a David Archuleta up in there for a threesome. Look at me making my own porno. But all jokes aside, I do agree, like, we should allow Shawn to figure himself out. And I feel like because so many people have been making comments, because I remember what it was like when I was a kid. I didn't know what gay meant. I didn't know, anything about all that stuff. But people would call me names, and people would whisper to my mother and other people about, oh, he's gay and he's this and he's that. So I get it. Like, when you're a kid and you're not even aware of the mannerisms and what it is that you're doing, because you can't see outside of yourself. People, you can only do and then react to what people are reacting to you in situations. So I totally get, like, why he's feeling the way that he's feeling, and it's saying the thing he said. So I do agree, like, let Shawn figure out who he is. And basically what he also said, he said, I'm trying to be really brave and just allow myself to be a human and feel things. And that's all I really want to say about that for now. And so, yeah, let him feel his oats. Let him figure out who he is, and maybe that'll come out in the music. But then when he does finally come out, now people gonna be out here saying, see, I knew that him being with Camila Cabello, she was a beard, that they were probably put together by the record company so that way they could conjure up this whole relationship thing to prop up their careers. I mean, it didn't work, but for the most part, they kept the charade going. And then remember, at one point, he was with Sabrina Carpenter. But this is the thing. He's spoken about it many a times. Like, he went on Dax Shepard's show in 2020 and was saying that it's frustrating because people keep trying to pull him out of the closet. And he said that, he said it was so frustrating to me because there were some people in my life that I was very, very close to who were gay and in the closet. He continued, and I felt that this real anger for those people. It's such a tricky thing. You want to say I'm not gay, but it'd be fine if I were gay, but also there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I'm not. You don't really know how to respond to the situation. Because it's like, if he said, no, I'm not a gay man, then you're a liar, you're this, you're that. But you have to let people figure themselves out. It's kind of like how people kind of denounce and thumb their nose at bisexuality. Y'all act like, oh no, it's just y'all being greedy, or you just saying that because you don't want to fully come out and be a homosexual. And it's like, yeah, there are bisexuals that exist. Sexuality is not black and white. So I'm tired of beating a dead damn horse. So yeah. If he's into Payne, let him be into Payne. If he like the coochie, let him be into the coochie. But at the end of the day, let Shawn figure out what he likes and who he is, and I'm sure it'll come out in the music, in the wash as in the music. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know in the comments down below. "10 years of Kylie Christmas album. Time just be flying. Shawn is doing all this now when he has an album about to come out, but ignored it when the alleged picture with Nick Jonas was going." He's another one. A Priyanka girl, but that's why I said, but then it's hard for me to take you seriously because I feel like, and I believe I said that in passing, that, you know, it feels like y'all only want to talk about certain things, that you only want to address the elephant in the room when y'all have something to promote. So it's like, don't just use your sexuality as a weapon when it comes down to you having to talk about whatever's going on because you want to sell records. So if you're gonna be, you know, if you are straight, be straight. If you want to be a homosexual, be a homosexual. If you want to be bisexual, be bisexual. But stop playing with us. Like, stop pulling at the, you know, tugging at the heartstrings of the gays, because we're not to be played with. Like, we are a loyal bunch when it comes to our artists or whatever. Maybe if you focused on putting out some good damn music that's catchy, instead of playing around with your sexuality, you wouldn't have to resort to these shenanigans. He said, "I love folk music, but when he does it, it's..." Yeah, I like folk music too. You know, I like my Ani DeFranco's, and I like my early Nelly Furtado, because she was doing the folk, but she was also mixing it with different genres. That's one thing with me. It's like I like the mashing of genres, probably because I grew up in a time where a lot of people was doing that versus it all being just one straightforward sound. But like you said, it's so boring and the lyrics so uninteresting. You have to be a talented songwriter to make it in that genre. That's why Taylor and Hosier are good at it. Yeah, I was about to say Taylor Swift before I read that. I was like, yeah, Taylor Swift is a good writer. Shawn is also past the age where he can rely on his looks. He still looks the same like how he did during his last album cycle in 2020. Nothing to be impressed or surprised by, unless he would leak a sex tape and he's, you know, getting his back blown out by Pedro Pascal or somebody. Now, if there was something going on like that, then I'm like, okay, I might be interested in the music. But no shade, I feel like people like Omar Apollo are way more interesting than Shawn Mendes. First of all, Omar Apollo's like 6'4". I didn't even know Mexicans could be that tall. No, let me stop. See, look at me being stereotypical and saying it in a joke. Unlike, you know, them people over at the Republican situation that don't know how to formulate a joke and make it funny when you talk about racial stereotypes. Okay, so now let's get into this story. You know, we're going from someone who can't figure out if he likes peen or poon to talk about somebody who identifies as culturally queer. So Daniel Chris recently appeared on the red carpet at the CFDAs with a new look that has divided social media. So the American Crime Story actor who played Andrew Cunanan, that was a good series, by the way. And you had Ricky Martin up in there playing the boyfriend of Gianni Versace. But anyway, so the American Crime Story actor appeared at the Council for Fashion Designers of America, which is known as the CFDA Fashion Awards 2024, donning a cropped open black blazer and silver chains with a little chest hair poking out for good measure. So yeah, but the thing was that it was similar to a look that Billy Porter did. I was like, wait a minute, because I'm trying to pull it up. I was like, what happened? Because I'm not seeing the window. Okay, I got it now. I was like, don't play with me, daughter. Okay, so yeah, that's the top shot. But I don't know if y'all seen the look, but I'm about to hit y'all with it in a second. So basically, basically what got people gagging was the bottom half, which he had a aubergine purple tulle skirt on by Christian Siriano adorned with black roses. So that was basically the look that he had. I think I have the picture. Yeah, so that was the overall look that he had. And I was like, okay, that's cute. I don't know about the tulle dress. Definitely that waist is snatched. And then on top of that, I did love the blazer, the tuxedo blazer. I'm definitely living for that. And it's given, abs. So, he definitely couldn't eat and worked and did a lot of sit-ups pulling in that look. And, he's part Filipino. So, they age slow. But yeah, so I'm going to show y'all this one courtesy of Christian Siriano's Instagram. And I said I like a lot of his fashions. So they said that the surprising look, which harks back to somewhat to Billy Porter's famed fuchsia tuxedo gown at last year's Golden Globes, marks the first time Chris has dabbled with dresses in his public fashion. Online, the look has gone semi-viral. Was that a read? It's because he's not really a big name or whatever. And they said it's very fair to say the opinions are very mixed. So some were quick to say he looked ridiculously hot, while others wrote that the bold fit was enough to reignite their obsession with the star. Now, one thing about Darren Criss is he will never be caught in a boring fit. This is what one fan wrote. A second added, as an early Glee fan, I loved Darren Criss in high school and college, so it's cool to see him experimenting with fashion like this. Personally, I think it's a cute look. Another person said, is it Christmas? Ha ha ha. Because this is a gift. This is what a third joked. Others, though, were far more scathing in their comments. Then one person said, I believe that all clothes are for everyone, regardless of gender, so I feel comfortable saying this outfit will look bad on anyone. Another person said, I mean, as an ex-Darren Criss stan, I would say yes, but there's something that makes me say, no. Wait, why are you an ex-Darren Criss fan? You can't just put that out there and not spill the tea. Another person said, why can't men break gender norms in a cute dress? Why always got to look like the first ones they see on the rack? Well, you know what? Reading this is not so bad what they're saying. Like, y'all making it sound like this is some shady homophobic type stuff. Y'all just basically saying that we like the overall idea. But don't get me wrong. I like the tuxedo top, and because no shade, I would actually wear something like this. And then like the bottom skirt half would have to be like long with a train or whatever. I would do something similar in that way. And I guess people aren't that upset about it, or they said semi-viral because Darren Criss, no shade to you, Billy Porter, but he's younger, he's hotter, and less annoying than Billy Porter in a lot of ways. So maybe that's why people are really not going as deep in on it as they did with Billy Porter, because I remember when Billy Porter hit that red carpet at the Golden Globes with his outfit, the amount of vitriol that was said on social media towards the look, and he ate with it. I liked it, the overall look, because I'm like, fashion is androgyny, is not when y'all go and say, oh, well, girls are for dresses. I mean, dresses and are for girls and pants are for boys. I'm like, but girls wear pants too. And men wear kilts and all these other kind of things. Sarongs. Then you have the Japanese culture and what they wear. Then you have Muslims with the regalia that they wear. Then you have Native Americans. You have so many different cultures and stuff that wear different things. So fashion is subjective. And it's not black and white or male or female. You should be able to try different things and different looks. But I do agree. When they said, why do you have to pick the one on the rack? I do feel like I didn't like the tulle skirt. But I said but I think they knew it wasn't going to be good. That's why they chose it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's going to get people talking. And while you're on the red carpet, it's giving very much Sarah Jessica Parker in an episode of Sex and the City. It is giving Carrie Bradshaw a tease. And I feel like that's probably where the inspiration came from. And I love Sex and the City. So I would definitely want to be channeling that if I was in that situation. It's cute or whatever. And I'm sure he is in New York. Child, somebody went and said the Rachel Dolezal of gay men. That is actually funny, though. That is funny. But look, he did say he culturally queer. Another person said, didn't he say he was done with the queer baiting? I guess the career is not working without it. Another person said, I guess we put the whole I'm not gay thing to bed now. Another person said, men take enough from women already, and now they're taking our club. See, now here we go with that. So I should have known it was going to be said more or less in the comments over on Christian Siriano's Instagram. That look, somebody said what I said. I hit it. And I agree with that. It's like, child, you ain't lying. I mean, I hate it too. But the thing with Darren Criss is he's I think he's married with a kid. Not that that's ever stopped some of you tramps. But so I'm not that bothered by it. But like I said, I don't particularly care for the tulle skirt. I ain't like the color, but I get why he wore it. Maybe it was because of the lighting, whatever. But on the carpet and whatever, when he's getting all the photos and stuff taken, I'm sure it moves well. It looks great. Like probably feels comfortable. I wonder what kind of underwear he was wearing underneath, if not none at all. I mean, I have to wear boxer briefs so that way I keep everything like together while I'm gliding and walking on pebbles in Manolo Blahniks. So I said, oh, this is the same. What do y'all think of this story? Is it a yay or a nay for what Darren Criss was wearing at the CFDAs? Whatever your thought. Oh, I feel like that just rhymed. I'm a poet and I know it. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. And speaking of comments, let's get to them. So I'm looking forward to Gwen Stefani Yacht Rock. Not Yacht Rock. Well, look, it better be on the level of like, it better be giving me like some, what was I thinking? Like some Living on a Prayer, like something like that. Like very Bon Jovi-esque. Like I could definitely see her doing it. Maybe she's thinking in the sense of like stadiums of doing that type of show. So he said Mexicans usually aren't taller than 5'10". I'm around 5'7". Well, apparently there's something in the water because from what I heard, Omar Apollo is 6'4". And I'm like, how the hell did he get that tall? But you know, it's a rare breed. There's tall Asians too. He said Retro Tuesday, bring back manly man. Well, look, if first of all, it's a definite turn on. If I could see a masculine man wearing like feminine clothing, I'm like, okay. Okay, so we got two more topics. Let's get into this one. Let's talk about Buffy. Because, child, when I saw this post, I was like, there will be no Buffy slander on my watch. So apparently people out here making comments about her, calling her transgender because of this picture that she's taking with her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr. So the transvestigators are at it again, and this time it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer favorite, Sarah Michelle Gellar, who they are accusing of being a trans woman. Child, it must be a slow news day for y'all to even be coming up with this mess. So they said the rumors began picking up traction online after a photo of Gellar and her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., who's also an actor, went viral. Now on Friday, an Twitter user shared an image from last month in which the couple are seen celebrating their 22nd, Jesus, they've been married 22 years. Their 22nd wedding anniversary. Now, while the original poster captioned the photo with unproblematic people aged so gracefully, several others went on to claim that Gellar could be a trans woman because she has a larynx. People are so stupid. The Adam's apple, no one speaks about it, wrote one person alongside a close-up of the Cruel Intentions star. Someone else shared a clip of the actress in the 2000 episode of Sex and the City in which she plays Debbie, a film executive interested in turning Carrie columns into films. In the short clip, the cartilage covering Gellar's larynx moves as she talks, prompting a poster to ask, are we seriously going to ignore the Adam's apple? Well, here's the thing. Have y'all never seen, Sarah Michelle Gellar's been acting since she was a little girl. So if you actually did the research online, you would know that she is not a man who transitioned into a woman. There's old commercials that I think she's been acting since she was like 3 or 4. Like I've been following Sarah Michelle Gellar's career for years. So despite the anti-trans Twitter users will have you believe, all humans have the potential to have a visible Adam's apple. The thyroid cartilage that surrounds the larynx simply tends to be larger for cisgender men because of their hormone production in puberty, hence their Adam's apple being more prominent. However, it's also entirely normal for cisgender women to have a visible Adam's apple. And they would know this if they simply Googled it. Now, replying to the transvestigators, one person mockingly wrote, every human on earth has a bit of cartilage. If you ever have felt the touch of a woman, you would know this. A second user said, no one talks about it because it literally isn't there. Go back to school. Someone else sarcastically asked, you didn't study biology, did you? Apparently not. Well, look, they removing all this stuff from school. So why would they? Now, as right-wing anti-trans rhetoric continues unbated on Twitter, because that's the cesspool run by Elon's slow-behind-ass Musk, and some other social platforms. Numerous celebrities, including former First Ladies Melania Trump and Michelle Obama, and singers Madonna and Taylor Swift, have found themselves being transvestigated by internet sleuths. I didn't even know that these are women that were being, transvestigated. First of all, I'd never heard of transvestigation. This is the first time I'm ever hearing this term. So apparently what transvestigating means, it basically refers to conspiracy theories that seek to prove certain stars, particularly female celebrities, are secretly transgender for no better reason than they have certain characteristics deemed vaguely masculine. The claims are often rooted in transphobia, misogyny, and racism. Now, earlier this year, the transvestigators managed to twist themselves into pretzels as they began to explore the theory that the Book of Mormon star Dylan Mulvaney, was actually born a cisgender woman. The claims switched back and forth that Mulvaney apparently forced to transition to male as a child before she decided to transition back into an adult. What? Y'all do know that you can't transition, then detransition, then transition again. Like, what are you talking about? So she was born a woman with a vagina, grew a penis out of thin air, and then transitioned back into a girl? Y'all cannot be serious with the stupidity. Y'all clearly did feel biology. Penises and vaginas don't grow on trees. So the claims twist back and forth. They said, in response, Mulvaney joked, "We should check on our conspiracy theorist aunts because I fear they may have lost their own plot. But I'm thrilled to be joining the cis community once again to have my name cleared." So this is what they're saying. But you know what? A lot of people, I did cackle at some of the comments over on the Twitter where they was talking about, this photo. And a lot of it was relatively positive, except for them idiots that said that. So one person said goals. Another one said they killed someone in a hit and run and drove away. Then another person responded, "You clearly don't know what they did last summer." Because, it's a joke from the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer, which Freddie and Sarah were in. Another person said, looking back on it, I think it's funny they put a Hispanic guy in a blonde wig and called him Fred Jones. And another person said, king and queen of the 90s, and the fact that they're still together means so much. Another person said they literally committed vehicular manslaughter and drove away after, with a bunch of question marks. So we'll wrap this up with, this comment, and then we'll be done. So they said they really are so unproblematic. I get sad that they aren't in many films or TV series anymore. They were so peak in the early 2000s. I get that starting a family was more of a priority for them, and I get that, but I still miss them. LOL. Well, Joseph Keith Walsh, maybe you need to do a little research because Sarah Michelle Gellar is in the upcoming what is that show? The Dexter prequel series. She's in that. She's been acting. She's been doing stuff. She was also in that Wolfpack show that y'all didn't watch, which was canceled after one season. And Freddie Prinze Jr. has been doing movies here and there. I think he has a movie on Netflix or one of the streaming services where he was accused of killing somebody and covered it up or something. I can't remember one of the streaming services it was on, but I did see that movie that he was promoting went in the theaters, was temporarily, and then he went, and then it's now on streaming. So he's been acting, he's been doing little things here and there, and he's currently, I believe they started shooting on the I Know What You Did Last Summer requel already. I don't know when he's supposed to start filming his part of being in the film, because he is on board to be in the film to reprise the role that he did in the first two movies. So I don't know when he's going to begin filming, or when Jennifer Love Hewitt's going to begin filming, or if she's even in it, because we haven't heard anything. But for the most part, they've been working, but they've just been, the kids have been the top priority. But whenever they need the money, they get up and they get them gigs. So I do agree that, yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. definitely were that. They were definitely getting them gigs in the 90s and the 2000s. But once you get married and you have kids and things, you make sacrifices. Just the name of the game. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? It's stupid and it's ridiculous and whatever. But you people need to go out and touch grass. Quiet as it's kept. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so January 6th suspect for soliciting a minor. Look, there's so many people that come out and it's like they align themselves with Trump. 9 times out of 10, they murderers, Chester the molester types, real screwed up in the brain, but y'all want to sit up in here and talk about migrants and how you want to keep, the Latin community out of the country. And talk about that if any immigrant kills a human being, an American, they're getting a death penalty. And if any migrant or immigrant goes and burns a flag, or anybody that burns a flag, they get 1 year in jail. I'm like, what? Like you said, 1970s soft rock. Mm-hmm. Google says Omar is 6'6". That's why I say he's tall. He said he is 6'6". That's the same as Rob Gronsky and taller than Jacob Elordi. I bet you that dick gotta be big. I was like, if you 6'6" with all that meat, but some people say you'd be surprised. They'd be like, yeah, somebody that tall, they probably have a small one. But child, I heard, oh my God, I just realized they dropped that trailer for Queer today. I gotta watch that with the movie that, speaking of Omar Apollo, that he's in, because it comes out next month, the movie. And they was talking about that nude scene. He said they did the exact thing to Michelle. And so, oh yeah, they do definitely do that. And they do it to a lot of Black women, how featureism, where y'all sit up in here and y'all equate because women have strong genes, whatever the case is, they're a man. You do that to her. You did it to Venus and Serena. They do it to so many women. And they did it to Sierra. People keep coming out here saying Sierra is a trans girl or a hermaphrodite, whatever stupidness. They said about Lady Gaga too. I'm ashamed to tell you how old I was before I realized that Adam's apple was a biblical. Well, look, a lot of people, I guess, don't realize, like, duh, Adam's apple ate the apple in the Bible. I don't, because sometimes, some things will be so obvious and in your face that you don't put 2 and 2 together, or you don't really think about it. It happens. Child, I was like, why is Britney trending? Because I was on the Twitter with that picture, because she was named the 6th greatest pop star of the 21st century. Well, good for her. I need to see that list. Somebody said, now this is a choice. Should have been top 5, top 3 if I'm being biased. No one defined 2000s pop like Britney did. Well, that's a fact. Billboard's worst move so far on the greatest pop stars of the 21st century list is putting Britney Spears at number 6 on the list. This is from Mr. Pop. Not putting her top 5 is absurd. She influenced a generation. Damn sure did. Now I got this girl in the comments. I'm watching her dance with freaking knives. Stop it. But I agree. It's like, wait a minute. Britney definitely influenced a generation with her music. There's so many girls out here. Tate McRae, Sabrina Carpenter. So many of these young girls right now are modeling their careers in so many ways after Britney Spears. And especially the type of, the influence that she had and still has. Even though she don't make music no more, she did influence a generation in the 90s and the 2000s. So I don't know why they wouldn't put her in the top 5. But you know what? I just side eye a lot of these lists that Billboard does, that Rolling Stone does. It's just ridiculous. So the 5 remaining and rumored artists to be included are Beyonce, Rihanna, Gaga, not Drake. I can imagine them doing Drake because the type of music that Drake does. And of course, Taylor Swift will probably be number 1. Wait, what place was Madonna in? Because they're talking about Beyonce, Rihanna, Gaga, Drake, and Taylor. That's your top 5 over Britney? I'm trying to think about what influence, what generation has Gaga influenced a generation? I think she was probably one of the last of. Now this is a damn joke. How's she not on the list? If it wasn't for her, half these people on this list, if not majority of these women, career wouldn't be where it is. But okay. She doesn't influence people. That's why I said this just is a joke. But anyway, let me move on. And let's talk about our final topic. which is this one. So a Drag Race UK star is going in on her critics because of her Halloween costume, because she went dressed up as Demi Moore, you know, the after effects of when she stopped taking that drug and her body started to deform. So apparently they were upset with the photo of, of her costume. And I thought, first of all, this was genius. And so Sminty basically said, I hate gay Halloween costumes because what do you mean you're cunty, monstro, Eliza Sue? I guess that's her name. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I want to see the movie. I haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. And I've been hearing rave reviews about the film. But I'm probably at this point, because you got to really search hard and wide to find a theater that's playing this film. So I'm going to actually go and wait until it's on the streaming service, and I'll probably just rent it just to see if I could stomach it. And if it's like one of those really good movies, like, oh my God, this movie was amazing, then I'll end up buying it. So Halloween, aka Gay Christmas, is finally upon us in 2 days, actually, to be exact. But among the jockstraps and wrestling singlets, Drag Race UK star Sminty Drop has been forced to clap back at fans criticizing her cunty rendition of Monstrel Eliza Sue from The Substance. There's a lot going on there, so let's unpack it. Shout out to Pink News for putting this together. To start off with, Halloween has in recent years been swamped by a meme format that goes like this. I hate gay Halloween. What do you mean you're blank? With the blank replaced with increasingly obscure costumes, pop culture references, and celebrity moments. The other key component to the story is the recent release of instant body horror smash, The Substance, in which Demi Moore plays a fading, aging celebrity who uses mysterious, substance to transform into a younger version of herself, played by Margaret Qualley. As the film's climax, the pair fuse into a grotesque amalgamation called Monstro Eliza Sue. Bringing the two parts of the above puzzle together is Drag Race UK Sminty Drop. The diva, who plays ninth on season 4 of the spinoff, took to Twitter, on October 27 to post several pictures of herself, a yassified version of the Substance character, writing, I hate gay Halloween costumes because what do you mean you're cunty monstro Eliza Sue? They also want to say, for anyone in avoidance of doubt, they ate. But several fans have taken issue with the gay Halloween classic, insinuating that Sminty had missed the point of the film. Just look at the deepest side to ever side, wrote the account, with another adding, I love making this cunty completely and deliberately misses the point of the film. That's camp. Sminty has since clapped back at those criticizing the costume, reminding everyone that it really isn't that deep, saying fully missed the point of the movie. It was a bit of a laugh, Danielle. It's tongue-in-cheek, she wrote, referencing the one and only Gemma Collins before adding, like, OMG, what happened to fun? And we know Sminty, first of all, Sminty looks good. Well, first of all, whoever put this costume together, like did the makeup and stuff, I'm living. Because, first of all, that face is disgusting. And I definitely live, because I'm like, can you imagine walking down the street? First of all, if I seen somebody look like that, the wig, the real skinny body, and then like the deformed face, I'd actually gag over that and be like, I need a photo. Like, what? I do agree with Sminty. Like, whatever happened to the days where we didn't take ourselves so seriously that we actually just were inspired by a costume specifically for Halloween, and we just put our own take on it, our own interpretation. It's like people are afraid to just take risks and do different things. Y'all just want to get mad about everything. And I'm like, it's freaking annoying. Just live in the moment. I don't feel like what she did was bad. It's like, I didn't miss the point of the film. I just took something that I was inspired by and I camped it up. And that's what we do. Like, we look at things that admire us, or even like when we dress up on Halloween and we do scary characters or horror movie characters, whatever the case is, and we go in and we put our own spin on that character. It's in a way of like, I get the deep thing behind it, but this is me in my head, I'm just taking it as like, I'm confronting that fear or that thing that is mentioned in with that deep little thing of what it's about, which is about aging. The fact that women are not allowed to age, that they have to stay forever young, that that you can get a quick fix in order to maintain your youth. They have youth in a bottle, the fountain of youth, or death, and it turns into a scene out of Death Becomes Her, where the side effects start to do all kinds of crazy stuff to your body. So I totally get that. But if you want to play up the character, why not? Now I can understand, like, if we was talking about dressing up as a serial killer like Jeffrey Dahmer or the Menendez brothers, which one of the actors from American Horror, that show, who played Lyle Menendez, got in trouble for dressing up as the father. I can understand y'all getting mad about that. But like with this, I agree. It's not that deep. So, this is a picture of Sminty without all the stuff on, and she looks good. Fabulous. And she has the needle. I guess that was before they decided to do all the makeup and stuff. So they said that the substance-inspired wax melt and signed Polaroid gift set now available from the link in my bio. So she clearly was, I guess is a fan of the film, and she's deeply inspired. And that's what artists do. They get inspired, by things, and they make it their own. Now, she also continued her clapbacks in a series of follow-up posts, and the ultimate trump card, not that Trump, but the Trump card, said, "Can't believe people are mad at me for turning Monstro Eliza Sue into a baddie. Like, how have we ended up this miserable?" Another thing she said was, "People not understanding what camp is. Open the schools," she added before referencing a popular internet meme. "The people who are mad at this are the same people who are 17 and afraid of Sabrina Carpenter." Wait, y'all afraid of Sabrina Carpenter, or is it the fact that the outfits that she's been wearing, people got a problem with it? And then they said that, so here's the Trump card, bitch. Let me show y'all that. So there's the ultimate Trump card. So that's all she got to say at this point. Demi Moore liked the post. She posted it. She put the thing out there. Demi Moore saw it, and she like, bitch, you ate. And she, liked it and kept it moving. And this is what I don't understand. It's like, what? At the end of the day, I'm like, the actress that's in the damn movie like what I did. So what the hell you mad for? Now, further gay Halloween looks have been nowhere near as iconic, but still incredible. They said there's been a blue pink men saying, "I'm fag meme." Chaperone in a passenger seat accidentally transitioned Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and many more. So I guess Pink News had a whole bunch of, outfits and things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, it's cute or whatever. But here's the thing. I do feel like a lot of y'all don't understand what Halloween is. Halloween is always about, you could just dress up as whatever. And if you got a way of being creative, then do that. And I'm here for a creative costume. If you go out of your way and step outside the box, you can come up with something real fun and real interesting, real creative. I live. But people getting on you're making fun of the movie. And that's like, go touch grass. What the hell's wrong with y'all? Get all upset. But at the end of the day, like I said, if Demi Moore liked it, who gives a damn what you haters think? So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do y'all think people are overreacting over the fact that Sminty came out and came dressed up as, the conjoined characters from The Substance, which is the movie I'm definitely looking forward to once it's finally released on streaming. So whatever your thoughts are on this story, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so now we are officially done with today's show. I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I will probably be on tomorrow. Oh yeah, because we got the special Halloween episode, so I got to put that together. And Onyx did say do the full 100, but just go through it real quick. And then once we get to 30, we'll just scroll on down and go through those. And then, of course, I got to do the one with the horror movie news. I mean, what is it? Not the horror movie news. The one with it's the music, the horror movie song list, and then it was the one with the Stephen King stuff. So I know of those three. So we can probably get a good, nice hour and a half show out of that. And if anything else progresses out throughout the day, I'll probably give myself like a good hour, 2 hours, and then I'll probably just do a regular Chris Avalon Unfiltered episode. Don't quote me on it yet, but I'll try to figure out something. I may do a double shift tomorrow of shows. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. Tune in next time for a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. What else was I gonna say? Oh, also, if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash that notification button if you have not already, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avila Unfiltered. So, love you all for watching, and thank you all for being in the comments and bearing with me when I was going through this, figuring out the mess and stuff that was going on with this show. So, love you all for watching, and until next time, ciao, darlings.